Hello, hello. Come on in, y'all. Thank y'all for joining. How y'all feeling? Thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. I'm gonna allow some people to join and we're gonna get started. We're gonna have a great show, a great live. I have a special guest that I'm gonna bring up and we're gonna talk about some things. So I'm excited. It's been a minute since I've been on here, y'all. Let me see. Y'all know if y'all been on my live, y'all know I don't do great with chat. So I'm gonna definitely try. Hey, I missed you. I missed your etymology videos. I missed you as well. And I know I need to get back on point with etymology. I'm going to do better. I do try to incorporate it in a lot of my videos, though. So, hey, how are you? Okay. I like that name. Thank y'all for joining me. Welcome back. Thank you for having me. I know. I go on a hiatus, y'all. Like, I go missing sometimes. I really, truly believe in serenity and peace. So, thank you for the live. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. Hey, Deverick. I miss you as well. Greetings. Y'all, we're going to have a great time. We're going to talk about otherworldly beings, okay? Because this is a conversation that a lot of people like to have, but it's hard to talk about with a lot of people because everybody not there yet. Hey, how are y'all? You know my brother? You knew my brother? Okay. Bet. I'm so glad I caught you live. I'm glad you caught me. Hey. All right, so y'all, I'm going to bring up my guest. I don't know if y'all know him. A lot of people know him. Some of y'all may not, but it is the Roderick Martin. He is a UFO expert. He does major things in the UFO space, and he's also venturing into so many different things. So I'm going to bring him up, and we just going to start shooting the shit, y'all, because it's a lot we got to talk about. So let me figure out how to do that real quick, and we going to get it going. Thank y'all for the gifts. Y'all know I'm not really great at multitasking with this live, so I will try my best. If I don't see your questions, try to put it in there again. I'm not ignoring you. I promise you that. All right, hold on, y'all. I'm going to try to bring Roderick up. Roderick, did you request? Because you know I don't know how to work this either. Thank you for whoever just sent that. Hey. I don't know if he requested, y'all. Hold on. This is why I need somebody to help me with these lives, honey, because you know I don't go live enough. Let's see. Thank y'all for the gifts. Thank y'all for joining. We're going to have a great conversation. I appreciate all the love. Thank y'all for watching the videos. Just thank y'all for the support. I don't say it enough. I really want y'all to hear that. I appreciate all of the love, all of the comments, all the shares, everything. I really do. Roderick, I don't see you still. Let me see. Okay, hold on. I'm going to invite you. There we go. Hello.
All right. Can you hear me, see me, all that good stuff? There we
I can
go.
see you. I can hear you. What's up, my
What's
brother?
the word?
It's good to have you on.
I know, right? I know. Just sitting here
Wait, look,
chilling.
real quick before we get started, because I just seen somebody said they will mod Roxy Rocks. You know what? I'm gonna hold you to that. Let me see. How do I let you do that though? Hold on, real quick, because I need one. Okay, I see it. Hold on, I got this. I'm getting it together, y'all. I don't know if I did it. Hopefully, it just came through. But I added you, I believe. Hopefully, because we need a moderator. But thank you, Roderick, for joining me tonight.
Hey, listen. You know it's cool. We either we talking now or 3 o'clock in the morning, one way or the other.
That part. Listen, we'll talk till 5, 6, 7. When it come to these beings,
Oh my
listen,
God, yeah.
we could go for hours because it's so much to unpack. So I'm gonna just kick it off. And like I said, I'm gonna try to watch the chat, y'all. So again, don't hold it to my heart. If I don't see you, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just really trying to focus on asking Roderick some questions so we can give y'all a little bit of information, Um,
Well, let's go. Let's go. Let's
let's
just talk
get
like
it.
we normally, how we just talk. Let's just go with it.
Let's go. Okay, so first things first, I do want to mention that we do have an event in Dallas, Texas
Yep.
on March 14th. So for
Yep.
anybody that's in Dallas, if you enjoy deep thought conversations, if you enjoy topics about otherworldly beings, UFOs, vibrations, energy, you name it, you do not want to miss it. So March 14th, it is going down. Roderick, I did try to put the link, but again,
Well, if you got a moderator, they can make you put it in the chat.
I
You
know.
know,
Hold on. Let me see if I can do it real quick.
yeah. And while you're doing that, but yeah, it's going to be a great time. In fact, we're going to celebrate a little bit of my birthday right after that event because my birthday is March 10th. But since she's going to be here on the 14th, and Brother Yosef, a bunch of us going to be here, we're just going to have a great time. We're going to have a great time.
It will be amazing. So I'm gonna figure out how to put it in there while as we talk throughout the live. If for whatever reason I can't figure it out, y'all, because this is not my thing. I just do the content for y'all. You can head to Roderick's website. Roderick, let them know your site, please.
If they want to go directly to the event site, just go to enter truth.com. Entertruth.com is going to take them straight on over there. Now, my website is truthversusauthority.org, which will take you there. But Entertruth is a direct link straight to our event pages and the stuff that we're having here in Dallas. And matter of fact, because of this audience, I went on and set up that we're going to have a live stream portion of it. All
Yes,
right.
so many people ask me that.
Today, I just put up a 24-hour flash sale for anybody on this live tonight, just until tonight, tomorrow, whatever. They go on to Enter Truth. Y'all go ahead and get it. You're going to hear some stuff uncensored, stuff that we can't talk about here. But in a private live, you're going to be able to hear some conversations. And so, of course, we got VIP time too. Then we have all of that. But either way, let's get down in it tonight.
Let's get into it. So now we've been talking a lot about otherworldly beings. And I know for some, this is kind of like a newer topic of conversation. For a lot of people that's been tapped in for a minute, we not new to this. We true to this. But for many people, this is like an introduction to the fact that there are other beings that coincide with us. And one of the things that I always get my audience to understand is you have the word human being, which is an indication that there are different beings, right? And so what better way to kick this off than to talk to the UFO expert himself about otherworldly beings? Just give me your insight about these different beings. What's your thoughts? Do they exist? All the things. Let us know.
Well, first of all, let me just validate something for your audience. So, because y'all just don't bring anybody out here, but her friends. She does bring her friends like myself. But I've been in 11 different TV shows. I've been on, Gaia, Coast to Coast Radio, HBO, Apple TV, Fox Tubi, Discovery Plus channel. Was featured on the History Channel, Ancient Aliens last year. So I've been in this. And then I was a MUFON UFO investigator here in the state of Texas. Have interviewed hundreds of people, worked with government officials, all of it. Then actually had a top secret clearance when I was 20 years old, working for the defense contractor. And so I've been around this for quite some time. And one of the questions, and that I think that people really just need to hit right off the bat. People like, what do the aliens look like? What? I go, well, what if we look like them? You know what I'm saying? And I don't think people grasp that wholly when we be saying it. And they be like, because they wonder, how do they walk among us? How do they I ain't never seen one. I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because what if we look like them? And, the greatness of all of that will be right here. I'm just throwing, we talk about this. This is all a source God,
Yeah.
all the different alien races, and all it goes all the way back. So I study a lot of this stuff all the way back billions of years. And people have I think they just really don't want to know the truth that there could be aliens sitting right here in this live with your DNA. It's your DNA.
Ooh.
And I think they should know. So let's just start right there. Let's set the
Mm,
base.
mm.
Maybe we look like them.
Listen, you don't open a can of worms with that. Maybe we look like them, right?
Yep.
Maybe we have a such thing called a reptilian brain for a reason, right?
Yep.
Maybe
Yep.
it's the reason why we shed like snakes. Maybe, perhaps, right?
Perhaps, and perhaps maybe if all of us in here just got hit in the head with a banana and it hit us hard enough to draw a little blood, and we was outside and we saw two snakes and wings, we'll run over there for help. Why? Maybe something tell us that there's medical wisdom and knowledge where them two snakes is. I don't
Hmm.
know. Maybe that'll work.
Hmm. I think it would sound like you talking about that Caduceus staff, that
Yep.
most people see, that
Yep.
thing that you see when you go to that hospital.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
The symbolism of all that. And so I think that, where people could start is just simply go before religion. Let's go before religion. They can go any date where they think the Bible started or Christianity, wherever they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But go fast that, and then you're going to find everywhere on the face of this planet, no matter what cultures, they all had some type of serpent worship at some point. And we're talking about places that didn't even know each other. They didn't even communicate with each other because they didn't have vehicles to get across land, water, and sea the way, but they all had the same motifs and the same etching, the same thing. And the question is why? That's for them to search for. Why?
But that's that forbidden knowledge,
Yeah.
That's what they don't want you to know.
They don't
So,
want you to know that. They don't want you to know this true symbolism of regeneration and can we renew our bodies like the snake does.
mm,
They don't want us to go exploring that. They just want everything to do that. So I just got to notice, think someone who's going to be coming to our live. They just got their ticket. I don't want to call out their name, but D, I'll just say D. Thank you for supporting us.
thank you, gratitude.
Yeah,
We will
yeah.
see you there, and we're gonna go all in. Like this is just surface level right here because we can't speak how we want to on these platforms, but for those that are tapped in, y'all gonna be able to read between a lot of
Well,
these lines.
and while we're talking, I can walk and take them on a tour where we're going to be sitting, and they can see the event room. It's already here. We're waiting. We got it all set up. This is
Right.
our whole palace here. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, let's go with this though. You and I talk about, like I'm doing the interviewing, but hey, we have
Oh,
a
do it. Let's
conversation.
go.
This is you and me, right? We have our conversation. So you and I talk about, you know, the races. Like I know sometimes you say, hey, I'm a mermaid, and I think we talk about how some people. Because today I was looking at a person today, I was like, damn, they look just like a lion, right?
Right.
I'm like, they look like a lion. I mean, he had and I was like, man, he got to be from one of these races back there, the lion, Illyrian races or whatever, And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's the DNA,
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
imagine if he found his true DNA, he probably can jump over a tree. You never
Listen.
know.
Listen, and that's them superpowers everybody was talking about, a few years back. Our superpower is gonna come online. Is it really a superpower, or is that your true essence? Because when we talk about what you just said, I done seen a few people. I'm like, that motherfucker look like a bird. You know what I'm saying? You look. I mean, you have a bird like face. It's no shade. It just is. I probably identify with a damn animal out there that I don't know of, right? But
There you
it
go.
just is what it is. And there's so many different people you can look at them and associate them with other beings. Even down to shape. Like I was telling you, Roderick, when we was going through some of them files we was going through, and I said, the way that this being is shaped, I know a man shaped just like that.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like listen, it's not far fetched. Roderick, can I tell them, can I give them a skim of what we kind of talked about a while back? and you showed me something, or is
Go
that
ahead.
for the event?
You know what? I, I won't show them, but we can talk about it.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay. Well, this is what I'm gonna say. Roger really got me because I knew there were other beings. I knew they walk amongst us. I knew that I've talked to plenty of them, right? Hell, I knew that I could be associated with them myself, right?
Right, right, right.
But when I talked to you and you sent me this picture, and you told me your story, do you want to tell the people your story? Just maybe a glimpse of your story, and then
When
I
I was
can.
up at the UFO conference.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I'll tell them a little bit. In the meantime, oh, there we go. Somebody put it in there in the event.
Thank you, Roxy.
Yeah, Roxy. And then anyone else, you can do intertruth.com. But Roxy nailed it. That's where it is. You give Roxy a shout out and make sure it's on just 24 hours. It is that live stream link for that rate is like really for this audience tonight. So it'll come down tomorrow and then a regular one will go back up. So if y'all want to come or watch us live, hit it. So here we go. All right. So at that time, I was doing Project Black. I was really promoting Project Black, and at the time, it was called the Black League of Alien Contact Knowledge, and it's henceforth now it's kind of evolved to the Black Lexicon of Ancient Cosmic Knowledge. And I was part of MUFON at the time, and a lot of people were really getting disturbed in the UFO community because I was getting a lot of attention at the time, and especially in our community, not too many people were really digging in deep, being a certified UFO investigator, being on TV and all this stuff, and understanding if I want to, even though it's a global thing, it's not a racial thing, but it was a area in our community that was disproportionately talked about, right? And so basically at this point, I ended up getting invited to speak at the UFO conference in Oregon, and they sent an email and said, it's time for Project Black. We want to hear about it from a different perspective. And so I go up here and I have an agent, they flew me in and they're like, all right, let's go in and talk. And it was a beautiful thing. I think everybody in here who are into that should go to the UFO festival. And when I'm saying it was something I've never seen before, y'all being around this thing all the years. And you and I, all of us need to go. We need to go. We're talking 30,000 people. Just the whole town and kids all dressed. Everybody look like an alien now, right? So if it's a perfect place for the aliens to hide.
Right.
And just so happened how things work. The very first video on my YouTube channel that I did, or second or third, was about the McMinnville UFO sighting, and here it is 3 years later. I'm on stage at the McMinnville UFO sighting. So I was like, man, this is just great. So I go there, and immediately I'm feeling a little out of place. Number one, there's not much to eat. It was a town full of pubs. I don't drink alcohol and all that. Well, I made it down a wine cooler every now and then, but okay. So you ain't never caught me drunk. That habit. Right. And so anyway, I'm there, and I spoke on Saturday. I had an event for Saturday, or each one of the speakers had a time slot, and people can pay to hear you specifically. So I was thinking, okay, not too many people going to come listen to me. I'm the only African American person there, and it's about 5 in the entire town, right? And so, but they treated me very beautifully, right? It was just whatever. So anyway, that Saturday, I'm heading to the event, and the first thing was this guy walked up to me, and he says, I know why you're here, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and yeah, I'm for the talk, I'm not thinking nothing. But he looked kind of weird, and he goes, I'm with the shadow people. We've been watching I'm like, I had my Scooby-Doo like, so I take out my phone. I'm like, I'm going to do a selfie with his ass, and boom. So I just dropped that, because we in this space, so nothing's going to scare me like that, I'm just like, pleased to meet you. Where y'all been? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I get up on stage. I'm doing what I do. I'm telling people about, and at that moment, people were hackling, like, why are you trying to make this a racial thing? And then it just hit me. I was like, okay, let me verify some shit right quick. So I said, well, okay, how many of you in here in this hand? And it just so happened, I had a crowd of 900 people paid to see me. I was like, damn, okay. So I said, how many of you have heard about African American stories in bigger media public? The whole hands went up. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. Then it hit me like, oh, fuck it. I forgot. I said, now stand up. You know, they all standing because they now like, they got me. They like, we got his ass now. I said, well, sit down if we're talking about Betty and Barney Hill and Eileen Warner. And they all, 99% of the people sat down. I
I bet.
said, I looked up and I said, now look around you. You telling me one or two stories out of 100,000 count that this is what I'm talking about, and that's when the light bulb went on for them. And I'm like, this area is disproportionately reported. We have to go into this area. We can't be truth seekers if there is you can, this big pie, and then our community is missing 90% of that information, but you think you have the truth,
Right.
right? And that's where it blew from there. So finally, at this point, um, when everything was over, this one lady was standing there, and I'm excited. I'm signing autographs, and she walks up, and by this time, I'm the whole 2 days. I'm like, I'm hungry. I want some Chinese food because I'm from Texas, you know. But I'm at a pub. All there's beer and fish, you know. And I'm like, okay. So the lady walks up to me and she said, "Hey, I got my cousin. He's a black man because she was not black, and he got somebody." So I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to get a story. And then she says, "Also, I have your Chinese food." I'm like, huh? Damn, you got my Chinese food? I'm like, oh shit, I've been thinking about this all weekend.
Right.
And so, but I started getting a little nervous, and I went and told the event organizer, I said, hey, this lady's going to take me to lunch. And she's like, well, if you're not feeling comfortable, why go? And I'm like, no, I'm going to go. And then I turn around, she's standing behind me. And I said, yeah, I'm going. So we get out in the car, and I have my little laptop bag, and I'm sitting in the front seat, and I'm saying to myself, dude, this only shit happen in the movies. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm a big guy, right? So I used to run track, so those days are over with. So now I'm a boxer. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and not try to run a bullet or anything. We just
Right.
try to go for it. Maybe it hit, one of those fat cells over here. Not much damage. So I'm thinking, if I hit her quick, if I need to, I'm going for the master blow. Because I'm like, I got to defend myself. So she's sitting over there and she starts saying, "You gonna be all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And so by this time, we driving. We get over to the store. I mean, not the store. We turn into this Chinese restaurant. So I'm feeling relieved because I'm like, "Oh, we finna go to a buffet. We finna eat in a crowd of people. This is my thing." So I end up taking the laptop out. She said, "You can leave it in the car." I'm like, "No, we got to lock the door." "Oh, nobody's gonna steal it." And I'm like, "I don't want to be the first civilian case of theft here in this town." You know what I'm saying? It's gonna start with me. So she locks the door. But we walk in. I pick up the menu because I'm like, oh, I'm finna look and see if they have some coconut shrimp. I like that. And this guy brings the bags. She said, "I already got your order." I was like, huh? She said, "We're gonna go up to the mountain, and I want you to meet my cousin." And I was like, oh, okay. So now I'm back nervous again. So we back in the car. We driving around this winding road. Now think about it. I'm a full grown ass man.
Right.
Full grown. Full grown. I'm very capable of, I mean, my ninja skills are a little lower, but I got it. So I'm faking like these pictures while we're driving because I really want my phone to log if anybody had to find my ass that, hey, here she is. So she looks over, she says, "If you want me to pull over to the side of the road so you can take my picture, I will." I'm like, "Is this real?" Like, she read my fucking mind, not her, it wasn't that, but she was just talking. And so anyway, we're going around this winding road. Then we get up here to the mountain.
Mm.
Everything
Crazy.
changes. Everything changes. I'm listening to the wind and this chant, the everything. It was like you can feel the air, this higher energy vibration. I'm like, what the fuck? And I got the video. We get out the car and I'm going like, what the fuck am I feeling? Like, what is this? And then this other lady walks out, which is her cousin, this gray, long hair, whatever lady. And I'm looking at her like, okay, this is going to get real. Okay. At this point, all the other side of the street stuff kicks in. Like, all right, so if this is it, this is it. Because I've heard so many stories of just whatever. So I walk over to this. We're in this property. It's probably worth millions on the cliffside. So I walk over to look for an exit strategy, and I look down, and it's like hills. And then all of a sudden, the lady said, "Yeah, it's a lot of cougars and bears down there." I'm like, damn. And then I'm like, okay. So she says, "Bob is in here." So when they open the door, Bob has to bend down and like, my ass is in trouble. you know, I'm like, this is, dude, how did you? Then something said, just man up, because this is it. This is it. You worked all your life to be that one in the movies that said, yeah, this is not gonna, because you've seen the show, you've seen it,
You
right?
seen it? Yep,
You've
we
seen
seen
it. So I'm like, man up, dude. This is it. Just, I was like, all right, forensic evidence, leave it behind us, whatever. I'm gonna be found, whatever. So I walk in and everything changed. I'm walking in this place, wall to wall. I mean, every inch is some type of angelic symbols and different things all over the wall, wood carvings and everything. And I'm sitting here going, whoa. Now I'm more inundated with mystery, and I'm like, I'm curious now. Fuck the dumb shit. Let's just get down with it. So we go in, and they standing up, and I'm like, let's sit down. So they kept standing up. They said the food is there, and I was like, well, I guess we can sit. So they sit in unison. And to speed the story along, I just had to give them the backstory because I'm excited about it. So, but anyway,
No,
speed the
I love
story
it.
along. We're sitting there, and the lady starts talking, and the one over here that's sitting here, she just had this painful face, just not like just whatever. They start telling me about what I was doing and everything else, and I'm like, okay. Now I'm still going like, all right, I'm looking at my watch because at this point Bob is big. There's no black person there. Remember her cousin's brother, and I'm like, all right. So at this point, what's really happening? And then all of a sudden I start getting curious. I start asking them questions, and finally I'm sitting here, and I said something. I was thinking something, and she mentioned. I said, these people read my mind. This lady's
Mhm.
reading my mind, and I go, okay, I'm gonna play with her. And as soon as I said that, she looks at me and she says, no need to do that. And I was like, okay, it's confirmed. Okay, it's confirmed. She's reading my mind. All right, cool. So we're sitting down and we start talking. And then finally, I just said, no, she starts saying, I need to tell you about your soul contract. And I was like,
Mm.
oh. And she said, yeah, it's something you need to know. And before we do that, we need you to know that although what you're doing is important, where you're going is important. But then she said, this is bigger than just aliens. She started telling me about demonic spirits and all these different things. She started all these archons and entities. She was like, this is way bigger. You need to know this.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay. Then she started telling me to study symbols. You got to go into symbolism and symbols, and that's the code to activate to get underneath the subconscious, and that's what the universe was before language.
Right.
And she just started explaining that, and then finally I just stopped and I just said, "Where are you from?" And then she grinned and she started telling me, or some type of constellation, and she was just going on and on and on. And so by this time, I'm still just looking like, okay, let's get down to it. So I started talking about remote viewing, and she said that we can teach you, but it opens up a lot of other doors and different things. You want to be careful. And I was like, okay. And she said, I don't think I want to teach you that. Bob sits over there, who hadn't said a word. He looks at her and says, you can teach him. like, like he
Okay,
gave
Bob.
permission. And I'm like, oh shit. So when Bob reached over the table, his skin was just like hanging and shit. He was like real tall. And supposedly she said he used to work with the Air Force. And she said, I was like, what? Okay. And so by this time I started just asking a bunch of questions, but then I still was a little leery. And I was like, I'm trying, because I'm really stickler about this. If I'm meeting with people, I don't like to pick up my phone or my watch because, when they do that, if somebody do me like that, I always ask you got to go somewhere.
Right.
But this time I'm thinking like I got to be back down to this place because I speak at 3 o'clock. So I only had about an hour or so, and so finally she said, hey, she told me where she's from, different things. Took some pictures with them. If I show the audience the pictures, they'll be like, they'll know
Yeah.
who it is. They'll know exactly which one it is, right? And so I was like, okay. Then she started explaining everything to me. Well, here's the deal. So we go all the way back. I walk in to the event. I'm excited as fuck. I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I'm still thinking like, all right, this just happened. So I decided to tell a couple of people a little bit. And so I showed them a picture and they go, no, you wasn't there. I said, yeah, I was just here. I'm showing them a picture up where I'm at and I'm taking pictures. He said, that's in the mountain. I said, yeah, they took me up to the mountain. He said, no, that's in the mountain. I said, yeah, that's in the mountain. And I said, you see me in the mountain? He said, I see you in the mountain. He said, you just went there. I said, look at the time log. And he's like, you just went there. I said, yeah. He said, it's 3 hours away. And everybody's looking at me. The other lady who lived there, like, yeah, that's 3 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn. And they were shocked. I was shocked. And then at that point, I was like, oh shit. So came back here, started studying symbolism, got the trademark, the symbolizer. You know, Denzel Washington's the equalizer, vigilante of justice. I'm the symbolizer, the vigilante of truth. And the rest has been history. So that's part of the story.
Thank you for sharing that story. I want to add my 2 cents in now because I had Roderick send me the picture. This was a while back. This was last year, early last year. And I said, okay, I'm gonna show my children. You know, I'm just gonna see. I ain't gonna say nothing to them. I showed them the picture. I'm like, which one looked a little iffy to y'all? Every single one of them was like this one. Like you can see it. It's like when you can see, you can see. Now, if you are not tapped in, right? If you just a normal day-to-day person, you just gonna be like, oh, that's an older lady, right? You know, but when you tapped in, when you can see, it's undeniable. And this is what I said as far as even what Roderick said. A lot of people ask, well, what do they look like? Well, you walk amongst, they look like you, or do you look like them?
That's the point. And I think that what people want to explore, if they want to, and I always tell them, your eyes are useless when your mind is blind, okay? And you want to explore the opportunity of saying, let's go to, not the word evolution, but let's just go timeline. How long human civilization, this particular version of us, you know, we can say 100,000 years or a million, whatever you want. Earth been around 950 billion years. The scientists know that. They know. So if that's the case, then why wouldn't we believe? And most of us in this know, we know the moon was brought here not long ago. It wasn't here in the beginning. We do know that the Earth was some type of water planet long before it became where it is. And we then begin to understand that there was some type of species. Now, if you start thinking about God, the source God, and all of these things, one in particular model, just like anyone else, when they built the car, the first car had 4 wheels, had an engine, had a couple of windows. Every car since then has 4 wheels, an engine, and a window. Somebody designed us with some eyes, a nose, and a mouth way back yonder, whether it was a bipedal dolphin, whether it was a Lyrian, whether it was a dinosaur, whether it was whatever. They said that works. So everything we're going to create is going to have these kind of look and features at some point. Then we want to talk about evolution and all these things. Now, if you begin to really think, were our DNA tampered with or whatever, there was a alien species once mentioned that they left evidence on Earth just for us to know too. And I encourage all of the audience, everybody, go look at an animal. Now, first of all, you know what a bird is, right? They know what a bird is, wings, and you know what a duck is, and you know what a dog looks like, you know, with hair and fur, and you know maybe beavers or whatever. Go look at a duck-billed platypus. That's the animal that they left for us to know. A duck-billed platypus is half duck, half beaver, got a beaver tail, webbed feet, duck mouth, lay eggs, but the babies are born. You know, it's like you can't crossbreed them. You can't crossbreed. That lets you know DNA tampering had been happening to species in such as us too over time. And so therefore, those are the things. Now we're getting into a lot of deeper that stuff. And some of them can get on the live and get some uncensored stuff there. So I don't know. I still don't know how to put this little link in there, but I think
I know I can't figure it out either. But shout out to Roxy because she been holding it down. I love you for this, Roxy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll just kind of post it here. Maybe you can pin it though. Is that something you do?
Let me see. You know, you asking the wrong person, Roger. I know you ain't asking me.
Yeah, you know, maybe Roxy can learn. She's a moderator now, right? No.
I think I made her moderator. Yeah,
okay, so I just posted. I wonder if you can pin that post.
Let me see.
Yeah. You can't pin if you have a guess, is what they said.
Yeah, it won't let me pin it. But either way,
Okay. Well,
I think
well,
Roxy put it in the chat somewhere. And if y'all can't find it for whatever reason, you can always go to my website and go to the events tab, and it'll take you straight to Roderick's website of where the event link is. Or Roderick, let them know that website you said earlier again.
entertruth.com.
Intertruth.com.
Yeah, that'll
So
take y'all straight over, especially for those of you who are in here now. Just post it again. And like I said, there is a discount, like just for the live stream. And let me tell you, it's under even less than a cup of coffee a day for y'all tonight, so that y'all can hear me and her talk. And actually, it's only 25 of those discount tickets available. So, but a couple of people got one already. So, if y'all listening to it, it'll be up 24 hours from tonight, and you'll see it says 24-hour flash for that. That's our gift and her gift to you all, and everything else. And but anyway, it's worth it. Whether it was $1 billion, what you're gonna learn anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you are interested in learning the truth, especially uh, if you really want to know who you are and what you are, let me start saying that, because I think the what now is a little important for people to start digging into. We used to have this joke, y'all, yeah, okay. I may not have to say it this way being a man, but we used to see women and you got different shapes and stuff, oh,
right.
she got the little deer walk, she's got the whatever walk, the other walk and all that. And I'm like, now I kind of go, could that have been part of a species? And somebody could have been a Cyterian. Somebody could have been a
Donkey booty. You know how they
donkey
say you got
booty.
that donkey booty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You just never know,
Where
you
did we
know?
get these terms from?
Okay. Okay. And then if they want to start thinking about UFO stuff, then you can go all the way back to our ancestors or slave ancestors, right?
Right.
Eric Van Daniken, he just died, which is the staple of the UFO community. He wrote the book Chariots of the Gods. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people ought to read that, and that's been around. It was one of the best sellers. It's been around 80 some years or whatever, I think, or however when it came out. But they said chariots of the gods. And chariots was the name for aliens and UFOs before aircrafts. Okay.
Mm.
All right. So that was really significant. And why was that significant? Well, I'm glad they asked. There was something some time ago before airplanes. There was a group of people who used to
Mm-hmm.
sit out there, picking, little stuff like this, put it in bags, and then they would look up and they would go, swing low, sweet chariot, come and take me home.
Mm-hmm.
Swing low, sweet chariot. They were
So
talking
did.
about UFOs.
Yeah, they
It wasn't
show
no planes. It wasn't no planes back then.
them chariots will swinging low. Them chariots stay swinging low even now
And,
to this day.
and then UFOs, 90% of UFOs come over water. So what was the next thing? I looked over the Jordan and what did I see? Angels coming for me, swing low. You know what I'm saying? They was talking about that a long time ago.
A long time ago. It's been in our face the whole time. Another thing they had us doing, because for the longest, most of us assumed they was coming from the sky, right? Like when you talk about a UFO, what we doing? We look it up.
Yep, yep.
Things coming out that water, and if anybody ever cruised before, baby, go out there when it's dark, when in the pitch black of night. Okay,
Yep.
you look in that ocean a little too long, you're gonna start to see some lights. Okay, so yeah, it goes deep. I want to say a lot more, but again, we saving a lot of this for
We're gonna
March.
save a lot, and just to give them some connectivity. If they think about why water, there was a time that humans could not go to the underworld of water without an apparatus, right?
Mhm.
Well, the ones that's on the surface, of course. So it was a perfect place for them to hide, to monitor us because we couldn't go there.
Mhm.
All right. And that was the things there. And give a shout out to JW for getting their ticket live stream with us. So
Gratitude, Jay. See you there. We gonna have a great time.
I just say JW. I didn't want to call out their full name, but first initial and last initial. But they know who they
90%
are.
of
They
oceans
know.
are unexplored. Yes, Phoenix. However, I even question that because how do they know if it's been unexplored? How you know what percentage been unexplored? You see what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
you got to go deeper with some of the things because again, somebody said that. We don't know that. I didn't measure that shit for myself, right?
Right.
So you got to start thinking on a deeper level like, okay, yeah, they told us that. They probably ain't even explored 1%.
Yeah.
They probably ain't even explored one.
And
Okay.
we don't have nothing to go down that deep because, like they said, there's depths of water that we just don't have. Now, being a UFO investigator, a lot of reports that we had was what we call transmedium. Okay, transmedium was objects coming out the water, air, and space, or space, air, and water. We have nothing as a commercial, I would say, that could, none of our jets with propulsion systems can go underwater and then come back up and then go to space, right?
Mm,
All within seconds of motions. And so that alone, transmedium technology was crazy, and still is today, right? And we're still working from that. But be sure to know that our technology is coming from alien intervention. Everything that we have, and even the government that we have being superior to everything else. I was working top secret when I was 20 years old. And so we had electronic government devices then, military wise, that could topple any country. So I tell people all the time now, that, and I know I'm kind of taking a detour, but I want the audience to know, don't fear any, believe me when I say this, except now I'm saying worldly, I didn't say unworldly, otherworldly, but don't fear any propaganda that you hear that China or all these other companies or countries, militarily wise, could do anything to us. This country or this corporation by far have the most fierce military might that you can ever imagine on this planet. And it's always been that way due to all the alien crash retrievals that we take. We take from other countries. That we go over there and get it. It follows over there. The United States is coming to get it. And these other companies and multinational companies and everything else. This is why in Iraq or Ukraine and all of this stuff, how they're holding off Russia with our old stuff.
mm,
So just give people that. So when you start hearing, you're going to hear a lot of that false flag or alien invasions and different things, which is what the drones was. 'Cause we used to get the reports all the time, right? And of course that test was shown in Venezuela a month ago. The test that they did in New York to see if it worked, because we got to do it on our people, they used the technology. And if you remember, the Venezuelan guy said drones and stuff came from everywhere, and they used sonic sound weapons and knocked us down. They never seen nothing like it.
mm.
So, but it's all alien tech. Is where I'm coming from, and so
Right,
that's who you want to worry about if you see that ship showing up.
right. It ain't got nothing to do with the United States of America. It
Yeah,
is
no,
far
that's a
deeper.
global thing. Yeah, that's a different story. Yeah.
And another thing too is what people got to understand is when it comes to and I got to choose my words wisely because again TikTok.
Oh
But
yeah, you know what? If have I said anything I shouldn't be
nah,
saying
you
here?
good, you
Okay,
good.
okay.
You got to be mindful of first of all even thinking that any country could do anything to any of us because when it comes to like nukes and things of that nature, now we start talking about these beings that are here, these
Right.
beings that is not allowing that to go down. Number one,
Nope.
again, like Roderick said, the earth has been around 960 billion plus years, like 960 billion plus years. So all the propaganda that they push to make people like keep people in fear, to make people believe that every year, mind you, this happens every year that the world's supposed to end, y'all. Every
Yep.
year, and every year people fall into this shit. Go to the store. It's like a loop, and it's like, damn. I ask myself, am I the nutty one? Am I nuts, or is it the rest? Because every year y'all don't pick up on this shit. Like they give you something new every year to fear. And so this is why I've been doing my videos lately, Roderick, and I've been telling people it's time to pull back.
Yeah.
Pull back because this was the whole point of the controlled leak that just came out, was for everybody's heads to start spinning 1,000 miles a minute. Number one. Number two, they know you ain't gonna do shit. They know you ain't gonna do nothing. Okay, we gonna leak this, and guess what y'all gonna do? Be outraged for 1 second, 2 minutes, and guess what? We just gonna give you another story.
Yep.
That's how the game goes. This is the game. Figure it out, learn it. But the thing about a lot of us conspiracy theorists, aka realists, this is not surprising for us. This shit is actually it keeps replaying for me, and to the point where I'm so uninterested now. Like, I'm doing it because I know people are interested. They have a lot of questions, but we've been knowing this for 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
This has been like literally. And so this is why we've been stressing. We've been saying learn symbolism. Learn symbolism. I don't predict shit. I either get it from spirit, 9 times out of 10 it's coming from spirit, but also just learning symbolism. They have to put it in your face. They have to, for you to agree to it. Like, that's how the laws of the universe work. And that's why they give you entertainment. They tell you to go get your coat, eat your popcorn, go to the movies, and watch them show you the truth so you could agree to it. And now, boom, that's them covering their ass with karmic retribution. So it's understanding and learning the game. That's all life is. It's a game. Learn how to play it. Stop being so involved. A lot of people are so, like, to the point of stress and so much chaos during this time right here because you absorbing everything instead of just observing it. Like, I'm aware, right? But it don't affect my life. Nothing that's going on right now affects what's going on right here, right now with me.
Yep.
And that's why I say pull back if you need, like, if you've been doing a little too much with this research and all these files, and millions of pages have been released, by the way, right? Millions. They know how to keep people occupied. And then they're going to give you another scandal when they're tired of everybody connecting the dots a little too much, because they only put out what they wanted people to know.
Yep.
I hope y'all know that too. Listen, it's far worse than what they're saying in those files.
Well, I think it's something that. All right. So, number one, the trick is. Well, let me bag up first. It's always called problem, reaction, solution.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole game plan. They're going to create a problem, we react to it, they come back to give us the solution to our reaction. So it's like, oh, that's their easy way to think. We think, oh, yeah, our government is working for us. The Epstein files really had nothing to do, in my opinion, with what was really going on with what they were doing. It's a bigger thing. We're talking, authority versus truth, right? This is the whole thing, truth versus authority.
Right.
The Epstein files show something else that I think we need to look at, and that is the higher up this food chain, there is something else going on that truth doesn't matter, okay? In this life, this world that we're living in, because obviously they had a very good way. Think about it. First of all, hundreds of names are popping up, but no convictions. Now, this happened back in the real estate thing that was in the 80s, the plummet. Millions of people lost their houses, $1 billion, $120 billion bailout from American people's money. Only maybe 2 or 3 people got even a light sentence for causing all that chaos, right? So here, although we see them releasing the files, what they're betting on is the normal chaos that goes through our lives, that we get distracted, and then you have what we call fatigue or whatever.
Yep.
So they said, let's put out millions of documents. They're not going to have time looking through millions of documents. And so they're going to get fatigued. And then they're just going to be like, okay, whatever, ain't nothing there. And they're happy with that. The other part of this, Ya-Ya, is how they looked at the women. There was only 2 women there. There was either product or somebody was an account or service in some type of service. They even went to a point in these files where they wouldn't give the women last names. Okay, now this is where the symbolism comes in.
Mm-hmm.
By not being able to identify these girls as humans, the symbolism of not giving them identity allow these men to look in the mirror and no longer see themselves as monsters.
Mm.
Because they're not messing with humans. They're messing with a prey or whatever they called it. But this
Right.
is psychological, right? And the other part of this where people are like, well, what's going on? Well, you're talking about think about it. They're labeling Epstein right now, Yaya, as a con man. This is what they're saying. He was a con man. Now, how does a con man get with bankers, presidents, and CEOs, dolly lump people of other countries, princes, and given to universities? But he's a con man, and that's the trick. Because what's getting ready to happen is it allowed the rest of them to be up there saying, right now, I didn't know,
Mm-hmm.
and so they're separating themselves. And they cover it up by all this philanthropy and all of this stuff and saying, oh, he conned all these people. No, they knew.
Y'all knew what the hell y'all was doing on that darn island, okay? First and foremost, there's more than one. Why are we only talking about one? That's first and foremost. There's more than one island. Second of all, everybody that they wanted exposed out of those files was exposed. Anybody they didn't want exposed hasn't been exposed yet. Again, this is a controlled leak. So a lot of the things that they're getting you prepared for, you got to start asking yourselves, well, what are they getting us prepared for? Right? This is to make you comfortable with the fact that they're doing this sinister shit that they've been doing for forever. Right? I mean, we can start talking about the Red Shoe Club. You know, we got to save a lot of this for the 14th because I know they're going to try to get me. But, you know, we can even take it as far as symbolism. Now they got everybody walking around wearing what? Red bottoms. Don't even know what you're wearing. Don't even know what that represents. But this is a club of sick, I'm not even going to say people. Because as we see in the files, these aren't even people. These aren't even people.
That's my point.
So, because I don't know not one person sick enough. Now, I know some people who do some shit, and I'm just like, oh, okay, you a whole weirdo. But not to the point you sitting eating what? And we just gonna call him a con man? That's the name that he gets?
That's my point, right? But see, they doing that because it allows the public to begin to accept a version of authority that they want us to accept. Then once you picture him being a con man, then automatically you think the rest was innocent to what was going on. This is planned. They planned this.
And as I mentioned before, the way that they get people is, first of all, these even have people going back and forth. Oh, well, Obama wasn't in them. Oh, so-and-so wasn't in them. If he was in it, because you so invested and because you put people on pedestals and because you just can't believe that this person wouldn't do that, if he was in it, you're going to turn a blind eye to it. That's what that tells me.
Yep.
Right? Because you picking and choosing. Listen, it's everybody to me. It's everybody. That's why when they come out with certain celebrity stories, even down to them saying so-and-so child died, this person died, this person, baby, guess what? That's sad for them. Because you ain't getting none of my damn energy because I know the games that they play. Yep. Plus, I see the symbolism. Plus, they always have the same numbers involved when they do these headlines, right? So you got to start to wonder, what are they trying to do? What is the big focus? And I'm going to tell y'all, I've been telling y'all from the very beginning, the focus has always been you. It's always been about you, deterring you from who you truly are. As long as they can keep doing that and keep distracting you and keep your head down in these files that they know you're not going to do shit about.
Not going to do nothing.
Because everybody keeps saying, well, what can we do? What can we do? What can do? Focus on you. That's number one. That's first and foremost. Learn who you are. half the people who are looking at this stuff don't even know what they're looking at. Number one, so lost because a lot of the language that they're using, a lot of the things that they're saying, they don't understand symbolism. So this is going way over people's head. The whole point of this, like I've said, like Roderick said, was information overload for you to get fatigued so that you don't have enough energy to sit with self, to go within, to find out what's your passion, what's your purpose, what you supposed to do on this earth. Why are we concerned about what they got going on? That's their own little club. They gonna be handled, and actually they have been. So that was gonna lead me into my next topic. What they won't tell you is when they have been handled. So of course they're gonna make it seem like, you know, everybody's going along and there's no punishment. There's a reason why you're seeing a lot of body doubles. There's a reason why you're seeing people with these suits on and playing different roles, because a lot of them they're not even on this earth no more. They're not walking around here. These are people playing them. Okay? So you have to ask yourself, why? Why? Because there is a such thing as, I don't even know if I can say it, but Gitmo. And, you know, we could get into even talking about all of that. But there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we can't see, of course. That's not my focus. My focus is understanding who I am, right? Yes, we can be aware of what's going on, but I think too many people right now is absorbing this energy, and it shows, like people spiraling, people arguing back and forth, still debating about politics. Why? They literally, I just put up something on my Facebook today. I don't know if you've seen it, Roderick, where I was talking about what they found in the files as far as Biden, right? You know, they ain't got to admit it to me. I said it when I first seen it.
They found it that supposedly he was taken out 2 years ago.
2019, supposedly.
Yeah.
So again, now that again leads me to the conversation of, so then who are y'all truly voting for? Who? That's extra energy. I've always known it doesn't matter. That's why it's never got my energy. I've never ever went and done that shit.
You use the term. Let's give them some wordplay here.
Yeah.
All right. When you think of the term vote and elect, let's say I elect someone and I vote for someone. Vote means you're voting for who's going to rule you. Elect meaning you're electing who's going to represent your will. Okay. This is why when we do have these elections, the common vote that everybody's staying hours in the line means nothing. It's the electoral colleges who elect the president. You've had presidents that have won the popular vote but did not win the presidency, because the electors elect who they want to represent and carry out their will, and the people out here voting who we want to control us, right? And so look that up. Y'all go ahead and understand that there is a significant difference. So you can go and stand in line 22 days, 2 seconds, 2 minutes, and 22 seconds if your number is numerology of 2 and it ain't changing shit.
Nothing. And let me just put this out there, because we can settle all this shit right now. Hear me good. If it mattered, how they are related.
Oh, they don't. Now we're talking bloodline, right? We're talking the rite of passage, things that has been done years long before. And why wouldn't you do that, right? Why wouldn't you make sure the DNA matches?
Come on.
It don't matter the meat suit. It doesn't matter that this one is blue, red, green, or yellow, but if the DNA matches, the cold doors. Now, that's the same thing that people are going to learn as the bio of our bodies and healing, that some of you are embedded with DNA to get through portals. As long as you need to realize that, if you learn that. Some of you are incarnated, not reincarnated, but incarnated here to do a job, but your DNA is the access code for you to do things. So they know this, and they use this up for control system too, because at this point, the DNA is predictive. It knows. This is why in Illuminati and all of these, when they're looking for the SA victims or all the different things, or the fathers that'll give up their kids, everything is DNA. They know who is susceptible to what.
Right.
Right. And they keep that going. So go look it up. All the presidents from this side of the fence, that side of the fence is related. Now, let's tie this in real quickly to doubling back with the Epstein files. What people don't realize, and then this was back in Olympus or the ancient gods, I forget what it was, one of the stories, where on the public side, the gods were bickering, but in private, they all laughed together on both sides, right?
Yep.
Forget which it was, the god or whatever, or whatever. Epstein's files proved that all of these people on public was talking about society, some on the left, some on the right, and all that. But when they got into that private arena, they were buddies. They were buddies. Now, where do we get this at? Let's talk about symbolism. So at this point, somewhere, I have our symbols that I use. Let me make sure I have it here. Somewhere. Anyway.
There is no right and left. That's right, Robin Renee.
Yeah,
same thing is happening now. They go
yes,
to.
it's the same thing that they're on the same team. And I'm going to give them some proof of that in just a second. But go ahead while I look for this.
Okay. Right wing, left wing. Say it all with me, y'all. Same damn bird. Same bird. That's why back in the day, I just talked about this in the video I did today. Back in the day, people used to look at me, ask me, who you voted for? First of all, it's none of your business. Let's start with that. But second of all, since you must know, nobody, right? Because that sounds crazy to me. Like just even thinking about it. Who'd you vote for to govern you? Huh? I don't want a damn soul governing me. Okay? I never participated in that shit. Like, I don't care about none of that. I don't care about how you try to spin it. Oh, well, the local government matters and this. Listen, right wing, left wing, same bird. Like, seriously, I'm a sovereign being and I truly understand that and I feel that. So I don't give away my energy to that. Now, I don't judge those who do, but those who come over and try to be in my business, oh, you're going to get it because that's not your concern. And I see so many people even now going back and forth, arguing back and forth right now. And we got files to tell us that there was a body double playing Joe Biden. And these folks arguing about, oh, well, I know I can't trust them. They voted Democrat. Huh?
Man,
you voted Republican.
So
and what?
Nuts, right?
All of y'all like can't see the bigger picture. That's how I see it. But at the same time, that's not for you to judge nobody. I'm not going around saying, I'm not going to talk to so-and-so because they're a Republican. Listen, long as you don't bring that shit over here, because that doesn't matter in my world. So again, a big part of this is just learning how to be aware, learning the symbolism, knowing what you're up against, knowing who's amongst you, but not absorbing that shit.
I'm gonna show them now.
Okay. Did you pause, Roderick? I don't know where he went, y'all. But yeah, it's literally
something happened. I was trying to turn my camera around.
Okay.
All right. So on my computer screen, this is the House of Representatives. Okay. This is our government when they meet. Right there is what we call a fasci symbol. There's one on the left and there's one on the right. Okay. Now, this is our government. In between is the flag, the United States, and everything else. Now, we use the fasci symbol on Truth versus Authority for my protection symbol because what I'm about to explain to them, the fasci go all the way back to the Roman days. The Romans would conquer the different states where they was traveling, and each time that fasci was held like, now you're a part of us. It's just like what we're trying to do these other countries. The fascia means the will, collaboration, all those things. So it's incorporated in Truth versus Authority sigil because I'm saying it's time for us to collaborate like they are. So what that symbolism mean is that the Democrats and the Republican are on the same side. It's right there in plain daylight, right? They're saying there's a reminder to them we're on the same team, but the
Hmm.
public doesn't know it. Now, if
Right.
anybody go back to the movies, The Planet of the Apes, when Caesar was talking to in his ape Maurice, he broke a stick and he said they can break us if it's one. But he put all the sticks together, saying if we stick together, they can't break us. That's what that symbol means. I use it because the symbolism could be used for anybody. It's not just theirs. So in our community, we use it saying it's time for us to collaborate together to watch them and what they're doing and no longer trying to figure out, hey, well, what are we going to do about it? Let's learn how they're moving. We don't have to walk among them, but we can learn the techniques and do good with what we need to know, right? So that's another part why people don't know behind the scenes, they are laughing together, they play together, they protect each other together. They already know, but they have to keep this look in the front of chaos for us to make it look like, oh yeah, we don't do this. This person is for this. And at the end of the day, now let me take it a quick another level real quick. So let's think about the UFO world, and we're going to think about disclosure. And I used to say that people used to get pissed off at me, y'all, because I was like, you got senators, you have all of these people they on the news going
Hmm.
down to congressional hearings. We want the truth and all this. I'm like, y'all, the senator that's down there took a freaking oath to the United States of corporation
Hello.
of the country here. Do you not think when he pushes too far, they pull him in the back and say, "Hey,
Better cut
yo,
it.
you better cut that."
Hmm.
And then he got to come back and out here and say, "Yeah, look, we're gonna get to the bottom of this." He already know he can't go no further,
Right. Listen,
but they
this is the
that's
same
how they
thing
go.
that I say about them celebrities. Like, you know how they have certain celebrities who start speaking out, right? Nicki Minaj, one of them, right now. And everybody,
Hmm.
I love going in the comments because Nicki ain't never lied. Nicki ain't never lied. Nicki just started speaking now. They're all a part of, like, what? I just be like, what part aren't people
Nikki
getting?
is on their team.
Control
Yeah,
opposition. That's like
yeah,
literally that is the name of the game. So it's like stop giving your energy to any of these people. I don't care whose side you think you on, right? They all a part of the same damn team. Like what?
the only
I don't know how
thing.
much to say it. Like how what other way I could say it? It's all of them. All of them.
Yep.
Okay?
And we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna put a link again. We're gonna talk about that in deep, because y'all, there's files that I can show or things that we can have a conversation. But we'll stream some of that from Dallas. Like I said, there's a link again, and just 24 hours for the rate that we have it up special for y'all tonight. And I actually only 20 people. I think it's limited 20 anyway. But and a few of you are already going to be watching this live, or if you're in Dallas. You don't want to miss it. We're going to have a VIP Friday night. And then we're going to do a little birthday after that. But listen, the thing that I think that where we need to really, as a people, the community, not black people, but everyone,
Hmm.
what we're witnessing right now is the fight of above, and the prize is the humans that they control.
Hmm.
See, everyone knows that the Federal Reserve System is ran by the Rothschilds. People should look up the Federal Reserve right now is a privately held company. There are people with stock that owns our money.
Right.
Okay. The Federal Reserve symbolism was the skull and bones, which was one of the secret societies. The skull and bones was the symbol of the Pirates of the Caribbean, which evolved into Puerto Rico because they can escape from there. Okay. They reformulated themselves. All the pirates did because they was robbing people, robbing
Hmm.
everybody. Now go back and look at the Federal Reserve bloodline. Same people are registered in Puerto Rico. Our Federal Reserve is registered in Puerto Rico. Okay. So they just evolved. They just got better and smarter with what they were doing. Now, Trump attacked the Federal Reserve, which meaning he's on another faction. They're all fighting because everyone knows the bankers rule the world. So if he's fighting them, which also goes back to when people were hearing Oh, the president never paid no taxes. Why would he? He's saying I ain't giving them Negroes none of my money. The other people, right? Because they at each other's throat. He
Right.
already know it's scam. He know the stuff is scam. So he's like, I'm not paying. I'm not giving those families my money.
Hmm.
So I ain't paying no taxes. And so we look at it. Oh, he don't report his taxes. He don't want to report. No, find out how he's not paying taxes, and you follow
And
suit
do it.
and
Right.
do it and go do it. Now, my company is legitimately, my corporation. I know how they do it. I know what they do. I'm not saying it here
Mhm.
at all, but the whole point is, it can be done.
Right.
Okay. And you don't have to worry about not passing go and collecting $200 and go to straight to jail. You're not going. They're not going. Now, don't get me wrong. You ain't gonna bark down their tree either. All right, and thank Kay. She just got a ticket to the live stream, so thank Kay. That's the first initial. But so what we're talking about is, and what Yaya is saying, and she's saying it so eloquently, but also, straight in your face. You've got to stop worrying about what's going on. And here's what you want to do: stop focusing on what is happening. Okay, if you decide that you want to see why it's happening, is where your answers and solution and betterment is going to happen. And let me give you a quick example. Tomorrow, you can hear about somebody going into some building and unaliving everybody in the building. Okay, we're going to hear about it on the news. We're going to hear what happened. You know, he unalived, use a gun, 20 shots, boom, 22 people gone. But let me tell you what the real deal is. They're going to spend the next 3 weeks trying to find out why. Because the answer is in why. Okay? The answer is in why. Because they got us focused on what. If
Mhm.
you start looking at what they're doing, that's good. They're winning. Problem, action, solution. But you start looking at why, they don't want you to do that. Because then you're
Right.
going to see behind the shit.
Mhm.
You're going to be like, oh, them motherfuckers up to something.
Cause then you gonna be listen,
Mm-hmm.
you dangerous when you can pick they shit apart. Like they don't like to see me coming. I could just tell you that right now. They do not like it because I could decode anything they put in front of my face. You hear me? I would
Yep.
decode it. So they don't like people like me. Um Now again, they don't mind sharing the information. They have to.
Well, they have to, because the natural law
Right.
of this world, we are in a free realm. What the natural law, the source God put it in, that everything here is free will.
Mm-hmm.
We have to accept what they're doing to us, but
Yes.
they trick the way they make us accept it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, that's the point, and because they got to answer the natural law too.
Yes.
So, but they trick the way we respond to accept everything they're doing. That's why it's called problem, reaction, solution. So they
Right.
create a problem, we react to it, and then the solution. So, for example, I mean, right now, in real time, they come up with fake videos. All right. For a minute, it had the word Sora all over it. Everybody seen it.
Mm-hmm.
You knew it was fake. Somebody said, okay, let's remove the guardrails. All of a sudden, they start removing the guardrails. All of a sudden, the chatter start going, oh man, there's too much fake shit. We don't know what's real.
Right.
And all right, we got them now. Let's go ahead and push out this new ID and ID stuff that we need so we can control them and get them to the digital world where we can cut them off like China can cut people off, because we think they're answering for us, but they created the problem, the chaos in the first place. So
Right.
that's the only way they can get the illusion to do. If they just jumped out, y'all got to have this ID. No, you don't. I'm not doing it. But they turn around. And so I say this, and maybe it's bad taste, but I always use it and say, imagine the person. Okay, I'll bypass that. But the whole point, we can do that when we get into live. Okay, I mean,
Okay.
but the point I'm just making is, people, all of this stuff is orchestrated.
Mm.
Everything they do is purposely done, from the politics, from the people. And the Epstein's file proved to you that there was a different level of truth versus authority, or that's our whole rebellion. And where I'm going with that is simply because of this. when you read those files and you start listening and the names, look at the names of the people, and you will find that some of those people was at each other's throat in public. They didn't like each other. They talked dogs about each other.
Yep.
They had policies. Some put money over here against this. Some put money over there. Now they understand duality, and they also run the premises of every good deed is a bad deed, so they can kill, or I'm sorry, they can chew up some people over here and then give money to people over there, and then to them it works out. But when that good old boy club met over there, politicians, countrymen, princes, all of these people, they were on the same thing. And the way this works is it wasn't about, it was about inclusion. It was about nobody wanted to be put out the circle. And the way they controlled each other was because nobody would tell on each other and what they were doing. So it was
Mhm.
easy for them to work that out. And I'm saying start looking at all levels, mid levels, tier levels, all of that, and you will
Right.
probably find that this world is something else. Now, I have a fetish for reptilian stuff. And all roads lead to the reptilians, but they may, I don't know. But go ahead. So,
Yes, you're not lying. What I will say, and what you said, Roderick, is absolutely facts. Like it's a club. They have been covering for each other for a very long time. Now you do have some that come out as whistleblowers, but again, you got to think control opposition. They allow certain things to come out. If they didn't want it out, they're not gonna allow it out.
yep.
Period. Point blank, they're not going to. You know how many times I've spoken on certain things? They will cut that shit so quick. Just like on this live, if I say something inappropriate or something that's too deep, they're gonna cut it. Okay. So there's no such thing as, oh, this got out or this person leaked. They allowed it to happen. And like Roderick said, the bigger question is why, not so much the what. Why are they allowing us or wanting us to know this information right now?
Well,
Why?
Peaches in your chat says, my question has been from the start, why would they tell us? Why release these files now? What are your thoughts?
Mm. First of all, anytime the collective consciousness awareness is rising, they're going to throw something major out there. And I don't know if a lot of people know, but I've been following the Schumann resonance for a very long time. And that thing been spiking off the charts, which tells me Earth herself, yes, I said herself, is shaking and waking and about to tear some shit up. What that means is the children of the earth that are connected to Mother Earth are doing the same thing. So we are all rising as well. They have such things as different projects within the government, Project Looking Glass, right? And they spoke about how they looked into that damn glass and they was able to see the future. The thing is here that I need y'all to understand right now. We've already won. It's already done. Everything that we need to do, we are already actively doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Awareness, consciousness is rising at the most rapid rate that it has ever. There were times we could never sit up on a live and talk about UFO shit. Times we could never sit up on a live and talk about otherworldly beings and have 435 plus people in here engaging in the conversation with us, right? It's all about divine timing, right? The time is now, right? Because consciousness is rising. They can no longer hide it. So it has nothing to do with, oh, they just want the public to know. You can't hide the shit anymore. You can't hide it. You have to come out with it. Now, again, they're going to come out with it as slowly as they can, still covering for a lot of the ones they don't want you to know about. But even from the beginning, when I spoke very briefly about the whole P. Diddy bullshit, I told y'all from the beginning he's just the fall guy. He's a small fry in this shit.
Yep.
When we talk about major key players, they're not discussing them right now. They're not even a topic of discussion. They're just giving you the small fries. So
and but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But you're saying it though, right? I'm sorry, but you're saying it because, see, we do have power as the people, all right? Because in order to control your tribes or slaves. We're not this. I'm sovereign, you sovereign, but you get. I'm just using a general term.
Right.
In order to control your slaves, you got to make them think that they have power. Okay, you got to give them that. But there is also, make no mistake about it, there's people on our side of the fence too that are here doing the work. Okay, and so they know that, and so the part of giving people the power was people start getting upset because those files weren't released. Because you got to remember, at the
Right.
time, Trump was running on that. Oh, we're going to release this. We're going to do that. Well, he knew he was all in that. You know what I'm saying, or all over it, so to speak. But his base started turning and saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, we want this," because they're tied into Republican versus Democrat. So they're looking at how many Democratic people is in those files that we can go after that, went after Trump. And Trump in the back office, like, man, I don't know how to tell y'all, but my tribe want y'all head, but how do I change this? You know what I'm saying? They're on the same team on the behind the scenes.
Right. Right.
And now here's the other part. You just said something. I'm gonna show them this board one more time.
Okay.
You and I talked about this, but let me flip it. All right. So what we're looking at real quickly, y'all, is the time matrix. This is the 15 dimensions, but over here is parallel Earth. This is what y'all is talking about. It's still dimensional, but it's running 8 years ahead of us. That's what they're able to tap into to see what's going on and make those changes because they can see that parallel Earth, right? And so we're learning that a lot of you may be tapping into it when you tap into your higher self. I'm sorry, but maybe because that's how you're getting to know what is happening and changing, because there's those dimensions, and so Project Looking Glass and all of that gave them the ability to twist time, the portal, whatever, to see back. But now they're tapping into it consciously, and they're able to go and see because, like, they can see what's already happening because, again, it's parallel. It's the same thing, but it's 8 years ahead. It's always moving. And someone mentioned in the chat that something was closed off that they couldn't see beyond 2027. They probably can, but that's how when they first brought it up, it was 8 years ago. So they're running this stuff here, and so I think at the end of the day, there's so much y'all to this world that we're in. But I will say one thing that I've learned is God source, the Great Spirit, the one mind, the one heart, the oneness that we're all connected to, whether this the chair and all of this stuff, because it all comes from an atom or was made from something living, that's for sure.
Right.
Or whatever it was. That one thing's for certain is I don't think it was intended for all of these gods that people are worshiping. But we all are creators ourselves. We all can create life, right? You can create life by putting some water in a piece of bread somewhere and leaving it together and come back weeks from now, it's got mold. You created life. Now you have a right to tell that life that you're their God. Right? You have the right to tell that life that you created, I'm your God. So, but then also, if you and I got into a spaceship and we got dropped off on an island full of, let me say women and not men, this for me. And I come out of the one place that they've been gazing all their life up, looking, can't touch and stars, and then I jump up out of their me. And they go, oh, he must be a god. And I'm like, yeah, give me your sacrifices. Give me everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, yeah, let's just give him all, and who's going to turn it down? And so we are the ones that's not understanding who we are because they don't want you to remember that stuff. And then if you remember it, you will not pay homage and fall in line with the obedience that they're trying to put, the obedience code, and you will then create your own sovereignty and know that you can and should be. And so, but why is that? Because at some point, that is the key to domination, and maybe for you to walk through and get to the other dimensions or get to the other place, because this prison planet is only a prison to those who want to stay here, because some of you came here on purpose because you were incarnated to do a job. You got out. Now, just like anything else, you have to remember how to break free, but some of you are getting that memory a little bit. So you already know. You just need to tap on into it. But you got on the other side and say, hey, man, send me back because I want to save some people. All right, I'm going to send you back. But there are some other people who came back because you walked into the light and saw your cousin. Talking about, come on, come on. And you know damn well, Pookie, what ain't damn there is no heaven. It ain't heaven anyway, but you know what I'm saying? You know Pookie
Right.
didn't go to heaven. He said on there talking about, come on, come on, come on, come on.
And you
he's like,
going back to
my
that
cousin.
moonlight.
Yeah,
No.
you walk right back in that shit, then you pop up in here.
Nope. Now, you touched on some interesting things. I did see some people in the chat. See, y'all, I'm doing better with the chat. Don't play with her. I saw some people asking, where do I get the chart? Because they like your chart. Where do they get the chart, Roderick?
You know what?
Y'all ain't getting the chart.
I could. We have a Facebook group we just started called Truth versus Authority Community on Facebook. I have this. They're not going to get the chart.
They're not going to get the chart. I was going to say, because do I got the chart? I think you got. You said
you have a chart. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. First of all, which I got to understand is this.
They can't. If they get out, man, we all will be in some trouble. That is truth, and that ties all the way back to where we talk about the Anunnaki, and people be like, don't know that the Anunnaki actually is a bloodline, Inca is a bloodline, Inlet. All these are different bloodlines, and they're mixed with reptilians and all of this stuff, and it goes back to the energetic tribes, the different dimensions, and it comes back to what I think people should know is that once you get out of the third dimension, you go into the fourth, fifth, and sixth, judging by this chart, which is not given to the world. We began to get into the density of carbon crystal body. This is important. Then you go into dimension 7, 8, 9. You're into crystalline solid body of the densities. Then you're crystal liquid when you get into dimension 10, 11, 12, and then your crystal gas. Where I'm going with this is you got to get connected to crystals. We are crystals.
Thank you.
We are crystal beings. They don't want you to know that. That's why it resonates and all that, but in the frequencies and all that, because when the Yanasa formed, the energy, the Kuna ray and all that, it was primary sound. That's why sound frequency is the top of it all. Sound is the and I'll just point it out to him right here, but sound, right there, primal sound is, then you got your primal light fields, you have all of that. So the primal sounds is the key once you start learning, and then of course the crystals is something, and that's the last thing they want you to know, that the powers in these crystals, or that's why sound healing works. That's why you can hear certain frequencies at night and heal yourself, because you originated from one mind, which was a frequency first.
Absolutely. Not only that, just taking
now,
it as far as
if they come to Dallas, I'll walk them back because the event center is up front. I'll walk them back here. They see it, and then they know where to get it.
Y'all hear that? March 14th, come to Dallas. You want the chart? Come to Dallas.
Come to Dallas.
But I want to touch on something you said as far as sound, because we can even take it as far as our own frequencies, right? Our own sound, our own voice. You ever listen to somebody and their voice just do something to you, right? Or even your person, right? The frequency, the tone, everything. This is how you can tell when energy shifts as well. Like, you hear the tone, you hear the frequency behind it. They use frequency for everything, right? So as a weapon, they use frequency. As a tool for healing, they use frequency. Frequency is literally everything. Energy is literally everything. So when a lot of people ask me, like, how you know this, or how you able to, everything is energy. I just start with that, right? All the man-made shit, I deconstructed all of that. I took all of that away. Titles, like anything you could think of, most people put titles on. I deconstructed from that. So I only look at energy. When I look at a person, I'm straight looking at your energy first. Because when I wasn't doing that, whew, lessons after lesson after lesson, because my empath nature kicked in, and now I'm going against what the hell my spirit is showing me about a person, right? They're presenting it to you right in front of your face, and you're saying they got potential. Potential? That shit is not real. That's what you would do in a situation. Look at their energy. They're showing you who they are. Believe them. Right?
They do it right off the bat. I saw somebody, I'm trying to see. Let me scroll back. She said somebody said they're in Austin. Somebody said they're in Dallas. Listen, if you were in Dallas, just this past yesterday, we were in the event center here, and we do a community meetup every 2 weeks here that we talk about Epstein, we talk about chemtrails, all of that stuff. Okay. If you in Dallas or surrounding Texas, I just posted, I'll do it again, is a text list. You text the word truth to 888-440-9771. It'll put you on the Dallas update list, and then you can come. Billy, if y'all heard of Billy, he'll be here and whatever and come in. I don't know. Yaya's coming, of course, Aaron Lyons, different people. But we also do community stuff where we have an open mic where you can come and be seen, be heard, and you give what you think needs to be told to the community. Okay? Because Yaya and I talked about this. It's very important that we know to start doing, and we're going to do some tour. We're going to get around the
They asking in the chat, Roderick. They said, what about North Carolina? What about y'all? It's coming.
I was just going to tell them, right?
Yes.
We're thinking we're gonna make some plans to make some tour and come around. And of course, we got to test it in a couple of areas first, right? And make sure that people want. But here's why we're doing this. Here's the most important truth. There will be a time that you're going to be watching, not us, but one of these influencers, and they're going to replace them. And AI is the one on that YouTube channel, and you don't even know it. And then we're going to have that AI to start giving mixed messaging over time, just slowly but surely to change the way. Okay. We know everything is inverted. So what are we going to do? While they're trying to get everybody to go to videos and fake stuff, we're going to form touch, huggy, feeling, love events where you can touch. They can't fake that. They can't fake us. They can't do all that when we are live, when you can come and see us live. Then you're going to know. Now, don't get me wrong. They could clone some people. Let me not say that shit. But the whole part is, you're just going to know. All right. But the other part, make sure you understand this is the purpose now, or going back to the point where touch, feeling, and uncensored stuff, because they don't care about 200 of us in a room knowing the truth. That don't move the needle for them. But if we talking about 1 million people and we saying some stuff out here that they don't want us to say, it's a whole different ball game. And and so those are things that we can do. So anyway, if you are here in Dallas, I'm just going to post a text list too.
And give them that number again, because they was asking for that, Roderick.
There it is. I just put it in the chat right there on the Truth versus Authority. It's scrolling up because neither one of us know how to pin it. But anyway, it is the toll-free number is 888-440-9771. Text the word truth, and then it will put you on the text list in Dallas. In fact, if you in Dallas next week on the 20th, we have a movie night up here, a conspiracy movie night. We're going to watch a movie, 3 episodes, and it's going to shock you when you see the truth behind this movie.
You need to come out there for that, Roderick.
And we're going to discuss it.
That's right up my alley.
Man, I'll tell you the movie we're going to watch when we get off here, because I want to keep it. They're going to be, when it's done, people are going to be like,
see,
and Brother Joseph
is
the one who told me to do that one, right?
Okay.
And he was like, so y'all got to text the word truth to that number. I see people posting the number. Thank you. But make sure they text the keyword truth, and it'll add you to the list automatically. Okay. But we're going to have movie night where we're going to sit back. We're going to watch. It's 3 episodes. They're about an hour and 20 minutes each. After each one, we'll have a group discussion. Then we'll watch.
Take your idea for Atlanta. Who in Atlanta? Y'all on a movie night? Because y'all can come decode with Yaya.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, this one is going to be actually, they all should know Brother Yosef, right? If they don't,
Oh
he
yeah, I
the one
love him so
called
much.
me. He was like, "Hey man, you gotta watch this." I watched it, and I'm like, "Whoa!" And it's man, it's mind blowing. So we're gonna be watching it. This so if you in, it is free. Just come up here. You know, I pay for the big room in the back. I'm at the
Yes, support my brother. Go and
yeah.
support. And actually, listen, when you start decoding, when you start learning symbolism, because when I tell y'all, open up a different world for me in a lot of ways, not just on the level of being able to decode for y'all, but with your life. You can start applying these symbols. Like you heard Roderick say, I use this specific symbol for my own good, right? A
Yep.
lot of these are sigils. A lot of these, once activated, are powerful. Like these are our symbols. They
Yep.
took our shit, right?
Yep.
So we just taking it back. That's it. You an hour from Atlanta? Okay, I see a lot of people said they in Atlanta. So I actually am meeting with a few different people for event planning. I was hiring for an event planner. So I'm meeting with a few people to put some things in motion. I will have events in Atlanta because so many people been messaging me, emailing me. Yeah, these are old events because a lot of my content is talking about older events.
Right.
But Atlanta area for sure, I got y'all. And then other states, I'm not forgetting about y'all. I know Texas for sure, Florida for sure, New York for sure. I know it's other places, but I hear that so much. So I haven't forgot about y'all. I just need
Look,
people.
I'm finna show him. I'm finna walk him into the room
Yes, close the
of where.
room. New Orleans, yes, I'm coming. You know I'm coming to New Orleans. I definitely can't wait for that.
Yeah.
But it's happening, y'all. It's just slow and steady. I need more people on my team, but I'm real cautious about who I have on my
So
team. Show us,
we're
Roger.
we're gonna be right in here, and it'll hold 150 people. So you and I will be up here on stage up there, and
Okay.
then we doing our movies. We have yeah. So I rent all of this, and just for us to do our events and everything else. And so I just did a live podcast 2 days yesterday, Saturday. So I was sitting right there. Then we did a panel, and then we had a big circle. You should have seen people talking about their lives and
Mm,
dreams. We was doing dream interpretation. Man,
yeah.
we were hitting it, and I'm like, man, some of y'all got some. Some of y'all need to go find out who you are, because
Yes.
boy, you think you're being attacked because something evil. They don't want you to know.
And a lot of times, and that's another thing, Roger, a lot of people feel like they're being attacked. They always go straight
Yep.
to that. And I have to tell them, as somebody who decodes dreams, you listen, y'all. Most of the time, you're not being attacked. If you're being chased, you're being whatever is happening. Most of the time, it's just your higher self trying to get your attention. It's
Yep.
calling your awareness to something. So
That's the only way it can contact you is if
exactly,
your collective unconscious and dreams. Yeah.
hmm exactly. So everything is not an attack. I have to tell people that. A lot of people come to me for spell work, for a different thing. Somebody putting something on me, and I'm like, your first mistake is affirming it. Like you coming to me straight out the gate telling me that somebody put something on you. You believe it? And you
Yeah.
believed it. Okay. So that's what it is. So a lot of this just is mindset. We're
Yeah.
gonna tie in a lot of
I'm
different
going to show you something. You know how we talk about reptilians, right?
hmm
All right. So reptilians is first of all, you're going to tap into it in your collective unconscious. Just what Yaya is talking about. So you can find it in people, musicians, artists, and different stuff. So I'm in this building, of course, we know symbolism. All right. So I'm going to show you something, Yaya,
Okay.
right here in plain sight. You tell me what you think about what you see right there. Let's go over here first, okay?
I see that slit.
And go to the side so you can know what those things are, you know? But this is a big ass painting, one of many, in this building.
Mm.
Okay. So do you think it ain't sending a message?
Exactly. That's very interesting because the eye alone.
The eye alone, the reptilian eye alone. We're watching y'all, right? So they're everywhere. And it's paintings like this, different stuff. But you can go in places and people see this anywhere they go in life, right?
Right.
So it's like things that you
All
would
right, say,
not.
can you show it again?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna show them another one first. All right, here. Okay, so this one, you see the eye, the one eye, the reptilian eye But the lights that you see, the white things are the lights up here. So
Okay.
I'm gonna bag off. But let me walk over to this one that we were just talking about. So it's a head there. I'm gonna go closer.
That's just so telling right there.
Right. And
Wow.
then, okay, so here, if you see these things, those are reptilian teeth. Why? Because you turn to the side. So it's this painting, and it's like different motifs, the green snake skin stuff. This whoever this artist is, all but reptilian around here. So, and he just sending messages.
Right. Now, we talked about this before, Roger, where we was talking about the different areas a lot of these beings like to be in.
Right.
And a lot of them, we talked about it, like the malls or the mall offices, anywhere where it's like wet, damp, cold.
It's cold as fuck in here, man.
Right.
It is super. It stays
Mhm.
cold. Oh
I
my
bet.
god. Yeah. And so I laugh, but I ain't afraid. I'm right at home.
Right.
It's my whole thing. In fact, here's another one that talks about the mind. Y'all can tell me what y'all think of the symbolism of this one. Hang on. Let's walk up to it. Switch the camera. Just think what that looks like. This whole thing. Now I said the white lights are just the lights up above, so let y'all know that. But if you can kind of see this control thing, how they control you.
It looked like the brain and the brain stem to me.
Yep. That's the whole message. That is the whole message. The brain and the brainstem. Yeah, they don't waste no time. Now the ones who among them,
Somebody said praying mantis.
yeah, the ones among them, they know. Now I got people walking around me. I don't startle them and be telling them like they hear me,
Right.
and I don't say nothing. But my thing is, there's good ones too. So I want to meet them. I be telling them, and I think I met a few in our group. So it's just kind of one of those things that's out there because they're afraid of us more than anything.
Somebody said, what is the main thing we should know about reptilians? So many people fear them.
Okay, so one of the things that you should know, which is what Y.O.U teaches religiously, now I'm gonna use the word religion, right? And but spiritually, she teaches you to keep your, I would say, energy because they can attach to the solar plexus because of the vibration. And you got to remember, we're talking about shadow. We're talking about the reptilian in different dimensional, not the hybrids. Okay, we're talking about the other part because all these dimensions exist that I was just showing y'all. So the one thing you need to know is why I'm comfortable talking about them, because on the higher dimensional level, they can't see me. My energy is not low enough for them to see me. My vibration is not low enough. I keep meditations. I always bring in the light. And I always create this explosion when I feel something attaching and all this stuff. So for the most part, you want to know that they exist. Now, again, you have hybrids, you have dimensional beings, you have all these different reptilian, and the reason why they make themselves hybrid, because all of them, every entity out there want to come on this third dimension. They want to feel and be part of this human bowl of energy, right? That's why AI and all these, they're trying to give the entity the body. AI, that's what it's really working toward. But when you start thinking about the reptilian agenda, they were already upset about, this was their planet before we got here. And when we came in, and when Source said we need to put the guardians of Earth, which is humans, here and make this a higher vibration, because this used to be a water planet and everything else, then they came in and said, okay, y'all need to get out of here. So all of a sudden, this is why you hear control. Religion came from them, okay? All these control mechanisms, and we think it's all new. You got to remember, Earth been around 950 billion years. So stuff that we're seeing now, and you already heard the ancestors say there's nothing new under the sun, right? So this is just a replay of things that have worked in other universes and other places and everything else, because we are a very new species. But the one thing about it is we were perfected with light energy. That's what they're after. We call it loosh, the food, or whatever. When Source made us and created us, we became a perfection of energy. And that energy, all these entities and dimensions trying to feed from it. And we produce it very well here. But they also, just like energy current going this way. So imagine the turning that powerful energy we have that way dark. And that's why they're feeding off fear and keeping us in chaos. And we're able to take energy, because remember, it never goes anywhere.
Right.
Energy is not going anywhere. So long as everything is inverted, long as they can invert so think about you, I'm talking about an audience person, being a powerful explosion of energy light, and you aim it this way and go, pfft. But also if you turn this way, that light is dark, but you're still powerful though.
Right.
You're still powerful. They're trying to get you to shoot your energy this way so they can feed off of it and do it. And so don't fear the reptilian if you can keep your vibration up. But don't get me wrong, when they go into the mind and they start playing in this holographic world and all of this stuff, it's always not what we think, oh, just because I think it is true. That's not the key there, because at this point, they can also try to alter our thoughts. So the ultimate answer that Y.O.U was talking about, you got to go as within, so without. You have to go find your true self. Once you tap into that and know and tap into your inner being, and you could think of it this way, think of a question mark, ancient symbolism. Everything is inverted, so they changed it and put a question mark on the end of a question so we can ask them and they can train us. But our ancestors left that symbol, which is a thing all the way down to the Bindu dot, meaning the answers is within you. The search is within, and not asking outward for control those questions. So start searching inside, and then you would do that. But we talk about a lot of that stuff, man. I have books. I don't talk about it enough, but I guess I could. This one is a bestseller on Amazon right now. Billy Carson is the publisher and forward, but it's called The Unspeakable Truth. And the subtitle is How Fake History, Christianity, and Self-Oppression Rob African Americans of Their Voice in the UFO Modern Revelations. This goes really deep. I have this one right here, which is The Shadows of Deception. And this is 54 reptilian archetypes that I train. It's a guide that you will know when you're speaking to somebody, your loved one, whoever, if they're in that reptilian mode, you will know the shadow side, you will know the other side. I also have a reptilian solar plex guide that teaches you how to keep that reptilian off the solar plex. And then I have a guidebook, 100 pages to work on your reptilian shadow. You can see the reptilian shadow behind the brother right there, because that's how they link behind us and stuff. So all of this stuff, I'm just into the reptilian. Now, y'all always tell me, it's more than reptilian. I'll be like, yeah, I know. I know. But I'm in it. I got shirts here that says, ask me about the reptilian agenda. So we do a lot of that.
They find the books. Where they...
You go, I have on my website, truthversusauthority.org, you can go, but Amazon, all the books are on Amazon. Yeah, so you can go to Amazon. The guidebook is not a book, it's a guide. And so it's going to give you reptilian history, serpent history, but it'll give you all the trickster, the shadow reptilian, the different people you're going to know in your life. You're going to be like, oh my God, this, and then you might see yourself too. That's the whole point. When you do that. But you can go to Amazon and you can look at all of that. Just go to Amazon from there. But if you go to the website, we have reptilian gear all over the place, because that's just...
He love reptilians, y'all.
Man, listen, I have a reptilian hotline, and we be getting calls. We be getting calls, reptilian hotline, And somebody told me to post a website. Let me see if I can even do it.
I know we don't know how to do all. We gonna learn though. This was how I need to get on live a lot more because I don't know nothing about it. Can you show the yellow book again? They asked.
Okay, yeah, let me get it. And that was not much. It's just it'll teach. It's like give you a 30-day guide of your solar plex. You can get that on Amazon, but
What is it called, Roderick?
it's called Solar Plex Sovereignty. The operator chakra fortress, of course, keeps you from the reptilian stuff. And it's just a little high book. It'll, you take about 30 days and go through all the guide for your solar plex to keep them reptilians off of you, and everything else. And so, but like I said, we do a lot of that. We do some different courses, different stuff, that we do. And, I'm all into it. That is my whole thing. The reptilian, actually, I'm coming out with a presentation called a reptilian hunter. And it's going to teach you how to spot them. And there is a secret word. I can't say it here, but you go find it in the emerald tablets, go really deep. The original emerald tablets, by the way, I want you to know. So you got to find it. It's not everywhere. But there's a word that was used back in the Viking time or whatever, that you say this word in front of these people and it will start bringing down their mask. And it's an ancient word. The ancients used it, and all of that stuff. And it is pretty much very deep. Now I'm going to read, and what we do here, we go out sometime together as a group, Y.O.U, and we'll go to malls, and 4 or 5 of us will get together and we'll do an energy ball and we'll hit them with it. And you'll know the ones that hit with reptilian because they'll feel it. They'll be like, oh,
That's
And
so true because
yeah.
I was talking about. I don't know if it was the word that you told me, but remember the other word that I told you? It was another word that you could say too. And I did a video talking about that, and I looked in my comments one day, and I had a couple of people who commented. Like one guy said, "Yeah, my nose started bleeding, and as soon as you said it," and I was like, "Oh," you know what I'm saying? Like, what does that tell you about yourself? You know, but we'll be talking about the words more on December 14th. What I want y'all to hear is a lot of things we can't discuss in the forefront how y'all want us to, because y'all got to remember they don't want this information out.
Nope.
So this is why we going more towards private settings. Like this is the main reason. There's a lot of shit we cannot say online. Like if we could, we would, but we can't. And I'm not about to do that because I used to listen. My mouth was moving on my last page, and I got that shit taken down. The whole goal is for you guys to get the information. You can't get that if I'm getting banned or if Roger getting banned. We're not doing that.
Now we're gonna say it on the live stream. So if y'all get your live stream ticket because it's uncensored and it's behind the scenes, you're gonna hear us say it. And like I say, for the next 24 hours, it is a special. I'm gonna put it back up right quick, for y'all to go there. It'll come down tomorrow. It'll still be available, but the price tonight is for y'all. It's for y'all. And there it is. I just put it, so the website there. But again, you in Dallas, I guess, can we come back and see the chats after this is over, or no? Or once they're gone?
Again, I don't know. I know I could get snippets of it, so maybe, possibly.
Yeah, Peaches is on the website. I just posted. So look for the link right there. Enter ENTER truth.com. All right. But yeah, so yeah, because if they're in Dallas, I'll go back and maybe give them a text list because they need to come and get around people who are talking about this, and then we'll form a community in Atlanta where you at, because you'll have a lot of fun. And it's kind of sad because, not in a bad way, that there was a time that all of us was probably where we couldn't talk to family and didn't have. Now we create our own circles, and I'm like, now I create my own movie nights. We create our own, and now you're around everybody like, yeah. So I had a lady here, young girl who I know she's an indigo children, and she started telling the dreams and different stuff that she was having, and I'm like, all right, she's 20 something. I was like, yeah, you need to get your knowledge before you get 33, because time's, your number. And so she's really excited. She was just crying. And I just told her, welcome home. Welcome
Mm.
home.
That's
You
right.
know.
Find your tribe. That's the
Yeah.
because I hear so many people saying I can't talk to my family or my family thinks I'm crazy. That doesn't mean that because they're your family, they're your tribe, right? Some of them are literally placed here to deter you from your ascension.
Yep.
Some of
Yep.
them are literally here so that you do not get to learn about who you are.
Yep.
So I need y'all to really get that through your mind, even when I start talking about spirits, and that's why I tell people get to know you first before you start trying to dibble and dabble into things. Of course, it's remembrance, it's our culture, it's who we are, but a lot of us was stripped from that, right? And so you
Yep.
have to ease back into this because this is like the spirit world is real, just like you have tricks to people, right? You have tricks to spirits. So you gotta
Yep.
really know which you have tricks to beings, the reptilian.
All of that is in that guide. You know, all those different ones. I have it
Mhm.
in there. So yeah.
It's about discernment, it's about awareness, it's about going within, it's about understanding that you are the only true source. I don't care what I come up here and tell y'all. I don't care what Roderick come up here and tell y'all. Guess who's validating the information? You are.
You are.
Because if it doesn't resonate, you're gonna be in your soul, you're gonna be like, nah, they don't. Now some people they let their ego speak and they feel like it doesn't resonate. However, you still see them in the comments, you still see them sticking around. It resonates. It resonates. If you hear, it resonates, right? So you're the one to validate the information. So when I hear a lot of people say, well, what books can I get? What I want you to understand, you are the book.
You are the
Yes, you
book.
could get the tool. You can get a book from Roderick. You can get a book. You can get a book from anywhere. I encourage you to get a book from Roderick. I encourage you when my book come out, you get my book. But what I'm
Absolutely.
saying is, you are the book. You are the tool.
Let's give them an example. Some people, this is just a metaphor. And by the way, this is Diet Pepsi, y'all. So, or sugar
You ain't
free.
judging.
Sugar free, yeah. But I want y'all to look at what I'm about to say. Let's think that in this is knowledge that Yaya is talking about, this liquid. It's in this glass, it's poured. This is metaphor of saying that there's a lot of people, a lot of you are walking around with access to truth. But what most people do, they walk around with it. They talk about it. Oh, I got it. They walk around with this truth liquid in their hand daily, night. They sleep with it. They know the shit. Okay. And they will begin to listen to everyone else and keep filling this glass with truth. Okay. They're just going to keep filling it. But you can get to a point where all of a sudden you're not feeling good. You don't know why you got the truth, but life is not the way it is. Oh man, I study, I bought all these how-to guides. I done bought every course out there. I done all this. And you're walking around with a fucking glass of truth. But here's the problem. I could be thirsty as fuck right now and hold a glass of truth and die. Because it only works if you drink it.
That part. Say it,
It
Roger.
only works if you drink it, man. You gotta go into it yourself.
That's right.
Because if you don't, you can walk around. So there's many people walking around with the shit all day. But
All
it
day
only
long.
works
And you know what I
if
hear?
you drink it.
You know what I hear the most?
Right.
And I get people together so goddamn good as soon as they book with me. We start off, it's all love. It's always all love.
Yeah.
But they'll say something and they'll say, well, something told me something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What is the something? Because see, this is what we're not going to do. People have been so used to and conditioned to give away and externalize their power. You are uncomfortable by calling it what it is. The something is you. That is you. Okay? It's been you guiding you the whole time. It's been you validating information. It's been you determining whether something was right for you or wrong for you, whatever that looks like for you, because that is a personal decision. And this is where I talked about karma, Roderick. I started talking about karma, and we went off on a tangent. It's so many people who believe that karma is real, and it goes back to what we were talking about with the files and all of those beings that have been in place. Do y'all think they still have the same morality that we have as human beings, as other beings? They do not have the same morality. So morality is a man-made thing. Okay, right and wrong is a man-made construct.
Yep.
That is based off of what I believe is right, and that might look completely different for you. Your right and my right may be two different things. Okay. So when it comes to morality, when it comes to karma, in the sense that people look at it as, there's no such thing. You could debate me all you want. We could just look at the evidence in the freaking world. Just look at it. Okay. Because these other beings don't operate off of that. If they did, we can look at nature. Because I've seen so many lions tearing each other's asses up. Okay, tearing them hyenas up. So I guess morality is only for us, right? So you have to start looking at a lot of these man-made constructs and figuring out, why was this given to us in the first place? Okay, why did they tell us, oh, some people gonna get karma? Because that makes you complacent. That makes you feel good about something that's gonna come later. That makes you not have to make decisions, right? That makes you feel better about the situation instead of confronting that shit. Fuck a karma, okay? If you do me wrong, I'm gonna stand in it right in that moment. I'm not waiting for shit.
That's
right?
the point, right? How many people turn around, y'all ever talk about, that's all right, God gonna get you for doing that to me? Like, let me give y'all what she just said. When you look at this thing up here, I'm gonna show it for the last time today. Well, just whatever. These are three dimensions. That's Phantom Earth Chaos. This is our dimensional, and that is the parallel Earth. And up there is one word that says Source God, one God, one self, one love, one thought, one heart, one mind, one. And what that means is the same God of your not enough is your same God of your everything.
Ooh, say.
Okay?
Hey.
That is exactly what is happening out here. I just want you to know, okay?
Listen, Roderick, I asked this question. I said, how is it that the slave master and the slave can serve the same God? Huh?
That's my point, right?
Wow.
Anyway, you can go into an NFL locker room and go to the winner's locker room. I want to thank God for the victory. You ain't never seen the motherfuckers in the losers talking about, I want to thank God for the loss because he didn't want us to win. He didn't want us to win. You know what I'm saying? God said, no, thank me for that fucking check if you want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like
externalizing power. And that's what I'm saying. All of it was you.
Yeah.
It was your ass when you lost, and it was you when you won, right? But you've been taught to say, God. I remember my mother used to say something to me, and one day I just bucked back. I said, I can't take this shit no more. She said, didn't God wake you up and put your feet on the ground? I said, God damn it, I know I did that. I did that. I remember sliding my ass to the edge of the bed and putting them feet on the ground. What are you talking about? Right? But in the concept of God is me, then yes, she was right. But the way that we were taught, it was to externalize what God is, right? And so when you start looking at people, even if they never grew up in religion, religion has shaped everything in this world. I don't care if you didn't grow up in it. Everything in this world has been shaped by religion.
Yep.
Why?
Everything. Yep.
Control, right? To also let you know, even when I talk about these programs that they have with the government, Project Looking Glass, and they have all these programs to see who's astro traveling. Why? Why are y'all so fixated on us? That's the question I started asking. What is it about us? They could be doing anything else. Everything they do is towards us. And as Roderick mentioned, it's about the light, right? It's about the light that a lot of us have. When you have this specific light, okay, you become a threat. Not only that, but you also become a source to feed off of.
Yes. And that is what the loosh, you saw it in the Epstein's files, adrenochrome, because it comes from the heightened fear. They want kids because kids had not been here long enough to be impure with all the foods and things that they have put in us as adults. And the energy of that being of a kid is a lot brighter, and it's really strong, and it's high, and that's what they want. And it's sad to say, but these people are monsters in so many exact way, but we can't do anything about that, right? But we can raise the vibration over time that they can't survive in this environment. That's what the reptilians fear, that they won't be able to survive in this point at some point. Back to something that you said someone asked me something about karma once, and like, oh, you're gonna have this karma. So the only way I can explain it to him, I said, listen, I'm not, this is infinite. I'm infinite conscious awareness, and I said, all there is, has been, ever can be. I'm living the experience as Roderick Martin, this overweight YouTuber, I said, but I'm changing that, and I did. People went to my podcast a year ago or see I done got smaller because I decided I want to change the way you see me. But one thing's for certain, I might have did what they said I did, but I ain't that when people talk about it back in the day. And they go, what about karma? I said, that's in that fucking other timeline.
Listen. Okay, we left that shit behind. What are you talking about?
I left that bitch in the other timeline. It's over there, but I ain't over there.
Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all the key of what activates karma. If we keeping it real, which we are always going to do, fear and guilt is the only thing that activates karma. Period, point blank. Fear and guilt is the only thing that will activate karma. If a person does not feel fear or guilt around the situation, there's no such thing. This is why you see 13 specific families that's been running the show for how long?
Yep.
Where's the karma there? Please tell me. When somebody can point that out, then I will shut up. But until then, don't talk to me about karma. It's about how you feel internally. Because again, remember, morality, that is man-made. That is something that somebody told you. This is, you grew up in a household more than likely, and you were told certain things were wrong. You were told certain things were right. Most of the shit is not based off of what you truly feel. A lot of people regurgitate information from their ancestors, from their grandmother, from their mother, right? Tell me something about you and what you feel. This is why so many people walking around unhappy right now, because you can tell me everything your mama and your grandma said. What do you feel? What does your soul want to do? And a lot of people don't know that because they only know versions of what their mom said, what their mom went through. Those experiences. What about your own? What about your own? You can question, but see, you were taught not to.
Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna put my phone down for a second.
Okay. You were probably taught, or you probably got in trouble for asking questions. So all of this goes hand in hand. Everything is connected. And I will always say this. Everything is connected. How you grew up, the environment you grew up in, the parents that you were raised with, the siblings that you had, everything is connected as to who you are right now. Okay? Yep, stay in a child's place. How many times did people hear that, especially in a Black community? Stay in a child's place. What goes on in this house stays in this house. And now you got predatory shit happening. And guess what? It stays in the house. Right? For years. Oh, up until now, because now is the time of exposure. I go on live, I scroll and I see people on live. I see people's videos. So many people exposing their families. So many people exposing so much shit that been hidden and swept under the rugs for 50, 60, 70 years. Why? Because that shit, nothing can hide under the rulership of the sun. Nothing. And that's where we are right now. This is why you see all of these disclosures and all of this stuff happening right now, because again, you can't hide from the light. We are moving towards that. The same energy that these beings want to feed off of a lot of people's light, which is why they have to push fear, which is why they have to push propaganda, because they need you at a lower vibration. That's how they eat. That's how they survive.
Look. What they say in the movie, they want you on a lower vibration. They need you on a lower vibration. But yeah, and it's designed all kind of ways. So think about it like this. How many people, before I say that, you was just talking about the way religion and everything. But imagine how this was changing. So let's think about this for a scenario. Think about control for a child who don't understand religion yet. They don't understand the control system of Christ or the story of religion. I'm sorry, Christianity or whatever. But what they did do made us come up with something that our kids could understand. We start teaching them Santa Claus. We start teaching them there's somebody watching you, whether you naughty or nice.
Man.
Right? and they're going to know if you're going to get all the toys. So now we got kids thinking of someone, watching them at school, watching them where they are, watching them in the room, watching them. So they're not going to get the very thing that they want is toys.
Mm.
Now, keep it real. When do we teach the truth? We teach the truth when we go broke and we only give them one toy. Mom and daddy bought that. But when times are good, oh, Santa brought it through the chimney. You get what I'm saying? When it's got
Right.
multiple toys, oh, Christmas spirit is in the fucking air. Oh,
Yeah.
Santa brought you there. But it was just one PlayStation. Oh, Daddy and Bobby worked hard for that one shit.
Right.
Now truth comes out of chaos.
Mm.
You get
That's
what
a
I'm
great
saying?
point.
Truth comes out of chaos. And
It
so
does.
we got to think about that there are control systems and we move it and we're the one passing it along and all of that. So it's just we just not and I don't even like using the term wake anymore and all. I think that has been the most divisive to me. That's the most
Mhm.
racist community, the wake community versus the other community. People are like,
Right.
I'm woke and you not. I mean,
They weaponize that shit.
they
No,
weaponize
not
it.
how it
Now
goes.
they're using it in politics.
Right.
It's love, right? We have to love everyone, and I start saying it on all my podcasts. I love you. In fact, I will say this now. Today is Sunday night, and I know there's people in this chat right now, and I'm one of them that did not hear I love you this weekend. Okay.
Mm.
I'm saying I didn't have a Valentine. That's cool. I'm divorced and also sovereign and building my stuff, right? But
Right.
I'm saying not the parrot love. I love you. I love you back. I'm saying somebody truly saying that maybe don't even know you, that don't non-judgmental, don't even care about who and what, because it's all based on decision. You're not a bad person.
Right.
It's just the decisions. But I guarantee you that. So I'm gonna say it. I love you, like Yaya. I love you too. I
I love
love
you.
each and every one of you, and y'all can put in the chat right now. I love you all, so that everybody reading it and somebody else come later, y'all can just put that. Watch y'all start feeling the goosebumps if everybody in here starts saying I love you all in that chat.
And you know what's so wild or even like sad sometimes when I think about it? How many people are so uncomfortable with even saying it, right? Or even receiving it because they're not used to it. And I do agree, brother Bobby Hemmett, he kind of opened my eyes to something. I talked about this one time in a video where I stopped even looking for the words because we all know love is an action, right? And so you feel that more than anything. And this is how a lot of people get caught up because anybody could tell you I love you. But when you know that person mean it and like you
You're
could
gonna
feel it in
feel
your
it.
soul,
You're
right?
going to feel it.
You could
That's what
feel
I'm
it.
saying. You
Right.
will know a true human being that respect the cosmic one, the one God, the one source, one love, one everything. Because when they speak it, you're
Yep.
gonna feel the frequency of it. You're gonna know, and it's
Right.
gonna resonate with your body. Versus someone looking at you, I love you, and they're thinking, oh, I love to eat your ass. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? It's like
I love the taste of you.
I love the taste of your ass, boy. Look at here. And it's just those things. But again, it goes back to seeing the world like you're supposed to be seeing it, and understanding that there is a higher force at work. There are things but also there's good things on your side too.
Mhm.
But they can't. They need to tap into your energy when you get there enough for them to do their stuff, right?
Right.
And all those things. And so I think it just pretty much see some of y'all should be feeling those goosebumps because that love, this
He
energy,
said
all of us. I'm
hmm
getting goosebumps now. That lets you
right.
know we're sending it right there. You can see
It's
it going
working.
on. Yeah, it's
You
working.
can
Yeah.
feel, listen, you can feel energy, especially when it's genuine, especially this is where the discernment comes in, right? And I talk about this often. Even watching somebody, you guys are on social media, you engaging with other folks. I have a lot of people that come to me for readings and they talk about their reading experiences and I tell them, you didn't use your discernment. When something pulls on you, when you first meet somebody or when you first speak with somebody, don't sway from that. That's your spirit speaking to you. And a lot of people are disconnected because you're disconnected from spirit. When your spirit, the who you are shows up and shows you something, it'll show you right away about a person. But what do? You allow your ego to come behind that and say, nah, they're a good person. Your spirit already showed you. Why are you debating with your spirit? And that's where people keep messing themselves up. So when it comes to the thing that we've been saying all night, go inward, sit with self, knowledge of self, right? A lot of people want to learn about reptilians and learn about this and learn about that. If I could do it all over, I would probably learn about self first.
You
Because
have to.
I walked into it with a lot of fear. There was a lot of fear because it was unknown, and it was all the outside external voices that I heard. Oh, that's demonic. Don't you look into that. Oh, this gonna happen. I was listening to that at first, right? When you eliminate fear, I want y'all to hear me so good on this. When you eliminate fear, you tap into unlimited, untapped potential.
Yep.
But until you eliminate that fear, this is why a lot of gifts are suppressed. I won't say they're not there, because we all have gifts, but they're suppressed. You're not even tapping into them. A lot of y'all are psychics. A lot of y'all are, mediums. A lot of y'all, empathic healers, intuitive. Like, a lot of y'all have so many different gifts. Healers with your hands, right? Master manifestors with your mouths. But you don't realize this because you in fear, which is the lowest vibration. We just told you what feeds these beings, right?
Yep.
Until you release the fears, because they've been pushing it and pushing it and pushing it hard too. In order to release the fear, though, you got to learn to take a step back. Learn the rhythm of your body. That is one of the laws of the universe, right? I like to call them the codes of the universe. One of the codes, one of my favorite ones that I like to talk about, because everybody's stuck on law of attraction as if there's not so many more. There's more than 12. A lot of people just talk about 12. There's so many more because we are infinite beings, right?
Yep.
So when we talk about the law of rhythm, that's understanding your own body. How do I move? What makes me tick? What annoys me? What irritates me, right? What makes me smile? What fills my cup? If you don't know that about yourself, somebody else knows, and they have control over you, right? This is where emotional intelligence, all of that plays a part. This is where we start talking about the reptilian brain and the characteristics that you see when people are operating from that.
Yep.
So when I say, and I say all the time, this is the whole point of my channel, right? Go within, learn who you are, because that has been stripped from so many people. And that's why I told y'all, I'm not here to teach you shit. I'm not here to teach you nothing. I'm just here to help you remember. There's a big difference.
Big difference.
I'm not here to teach you. You already know, which is why when you listen to me, you like, yeah, that's true. How you gonna validate it if you didn't know it already?
Yeah. And that's the whole mission that even for myself, and I'll speak on love too, because there was a time, I was like, oh, yeah, I was like, I never experienced true love, right? I'm thinking, but I'm basing it upon personal relationship, right? I'm like, that kind of shit you see on TV, she looking in your face, you're a splendid black man, somebody wrote the line, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Because I do the things to deserve that. There are some people who ain't doing shit. They get maybe you're a splendid black man, and he's confused. Like, what did I do? Because he's confused.
Right.
But where I'm going with this, when I started going down that mission and then talking consciously and subconsciously that I want to experience, all of a sudden it said, yeah, you're getting ready to experience. I start building a community.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started seeing all walks of life, different people. And then I started learning to love everybody as they were.
Yes.
Non-judgmental, not religious. There was a lady standing in my office yesterday, and she's like, I want to talk, or an event. She was like, well, I want to talk about entities. And she's just Christian, Jesus, everything. And I said, and then she looks at me and she says, because you accept Jesus. I said, I know who he was. I heard the story. And then she was like, but that's all she needed to hear. Oh, cool, because if that's the case, we down. And then she said, well, let me speak. I said, no, you didn't hear that. You didn't hear what I said.
Mm,
And I said, and you being judgmental, because had you thought I said that I didn't, you would have walked away from me based
exactly.
on that. But I still love you no matter who you are.
Right. Now, one thing I will say to that, Roderick, and one thing that I've learned, I still love everybody for where they are. But one thing that I've learned is to put up my boundaries.
You have
And
to.
that's what y'all got to learn to do.
You have to. Now, I always can put myself in their shoes, but I don't walk in them.
Oh, hell no. That's your shit to feel,
That's
not
their
mine.
shit. I can do it
Yeah.
to get an understanding of who and what's happening, but I do not walk in them. But it allows me. And so when people start coming to our community, and by the way, you all can go to the Facebook group, Truth versus Authority Community on Facebook, join it, and that'll keep you updated with different stuff that's happening too. And, say hello. But once I figured that part out, and started, then I'm like, oh man, love is love. And like I say, because there's people walking around with entities, there's people walking around with all kinds of stuff. And like I said, I've had 3, 5, 6, 10. Oh, I can introduce you. Like, oh yeah, you're fucking mine. What I'm saying? And actually, they are. Like, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
introduce me to your entity. Because that's one thing them things want is another soul.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely want another. But once you are in it, you can hear it. But do you know how many people that get introduced to these things not knowing that the person is trapping them, and they're going, yeah, yeah. And, oh, I want to meet your friend. You better ask them what kind of friend you got. What are you talking about? Imaginary friend, or who? What are you talking about? Because literally, word spells, and we can talk about that. Is the magic of it all. Because
Mm-hmm.
what you think you hear is not what you hear, and it is crazy
Yeah.
when it comes down to this. But love, let me back that up and say, now, hopefully, one day I will experience the lovey love, because I've been married a couple of times. I've been there and got the T-shirt and done that. I think marriage is like medicine. It tastes good. It tastes bad, but it's good for you. How about that? So, get you some, it's whatever. Unless you get some flavored medicine, your ass is on fire. Okay?
Mm.
All right. So, but at the end of the day, that's my plan. But that person will come through the community though.
Mm.
Yeah, because I'm leading a group. That person have to understand peace. They have to understand that they can be in my ear like the reptilian shadow, and then I'm up here saying some shit because I'm pissed off at home. You
Right.
know,
Right.
so a lot of people don't want that responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want the responsibility of providing peace to each other in reciprocity way and making sure, and that's okay because again, I gain enough love, loving everyone, but and I'm only
As I'm starting to advance in my knowledge and my connection to self, I get this question a lot. Yeah, yeah. Are you married? Are you married? Hell no. Okay. No, I'm not. Okay. I ain't never been got like that. You know what I'm saying? I've always been the one like, listen, I always been in long relationships, but I ain't never been got by marriage. I promise y'all, I've been knowing things the whole time I've been on this earth. And every single time marriage was brought up, I said, that ain't for me, Alex. That is not for me. But I'm not saying one day it won't happen. If I did do it, it would be jumping the brooms like my ancestors did it. It would not be for the state because I talked about this in a video. Marriage only benefits the state. Like I don't care which way you want to spin
and
it.
that's when you get married, you are the property of the state. The state is involved in it. Now don't get me wrong. You got wills, you got things, and you want to do stuff to protect the other person. If you're trying to leave and do something, give them, make sure it's covered. Because if not, that's why the state can take stuff
Right.
because you became their property of doing that. Uh, but you can cosmically marry someone
Yes.
off a commitment almost. Now, I'm not saying you make
Full
a
connection.
yes. And you should be able to be strong enough to look someone. Now, I'm not telling anybody to do this, but if I met someone and I just wanted to make the life commitment that I got you, and I can do that whenever, but then of course you're going to be cautious though. But that's my commitment of saying, hey, I'm going to love you, you
Right.
know. And I made the decision because of this free will to give that to you. and I'm going to honor it with integrity or whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some hypocrisy in there. There's some bullshit that you don't want to deal with, and you got to be careful of all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, all she's saying and what I'm saying is you don't have to go and get all of that to serve each other for the rest of your lives.
To
Because
prove that I love you, I got to go down to the courthouse. Get out my face with that shit. Like, that is indoctrination at its finest. And I have so many people who try to come defend their marriage. Oh, well, it's good. My relationship is good. That's great. You missing the whole point. What I'm saying
ain't
is
nobody said nothing about you
soul
had a bad
connection.
relationship. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
It's about soul connect. If you coming to talk to me anything about, when I tell y'all I operate out of sovereignty, I mean that shit. So when I'm looking at it from a sovereign standpoint. Because if I want to divorce your ass, you mean to tell me I got to go to a courthouse, pay my money, and see if this person responds and all this other what?
Well, think about like this. I thought about running for public office, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And let me see if any of y'all would vote for me, okay? And I'm gonna give y'all what I was gonna stand on. And this is a true story, by the way.
Okay.
I want to know if I would get y'all vote. I started looking at everything, especially in the state of Texas. It's not a license that you can get in the fucking state of Texas that didn't have an expiration date.
Mm.
I'm like, what if I say marriage license expire every 2 years? Could I run on that saying we're gonna make? Because you looking at somebody like, you know what? I'm not renewing this shit with you at midnight. I'm just out.
Right.
I'm just not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So would you vote for me if I said we're gonna change the game? That if I did get a license with you, that bitch expire every 2 years. We gotta renew this.
It might need to. Shit. It might need to.
That way you just sit back and be like, I'm not renewing this shit. I'm not renewing this shit.
But think about it, because from a frequency and vibrational standpoint, I even talked about this. How many of y'all could look back at past relationships or somebody you dated and be like, "Ugh, I can't believe I did that shit. Like, I can't believe I dated somebody."
Look, I'm getting some votes. So yeah, there we go.
You listen. You will get the votes because people's vibrations and frequencies change. And this is the thing when it talks about marriage, or you hear the Christians even say equally yoked. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about frequency. We're talking about vibration. We're talking about, are we matching one another? Because think about a friend, right, that you be on the phone with. Y'all might gossip all day long, but let's say you start ascending. Do you think you and this friend relationship gonna be the same? Y'all literally were friends because of the gossip, because of the chaos, because of talking about everybody under the damn sun. Now all of a sudden you don't want to do that. You pull back from that. They gonna feel like you acting funny, you being weird, you doing this, you think you better than them. Why? Because your frequency changed, because you ascended. And that's what happens when it comes to marriages. Why you see people who grow apart, who divorce. Rightfully so. I ascended, this person didn't, and vice versa.
And it works like that all the time. And so if I was to vote, you can just look right now. I will be like, hey, babe, it is 12 midnight. And then I'll be like, let me change my camera around. Hopefully it will work here. And it'll go something like this, like, all right, that ain't my bag. That's your shit. It's 12 midnight. I see you. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, take your shit. It's 12 midnight.
It's still capitalist, though, Roger, because you're going to make a renew every 2 years.
Like a motherfucker. The license just expired. I'm not renewing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Take your shit. I'm done. You know what I'm saying?
It's all a game. This is the shit that I'm talking about. Everything that we see, that we talk about, that people argue about, that people look their nose down on other people about. You know how many people look at single people and, well, if you were married and you're married and miserable, shut the hell up. Like, please. Just, with anything that we talk about, there's even with people with degrees, right? They looking down on somebody else that don't have a degree, but y'all sitting in the same goddamn cubicle.
And motherfuckers have more degrees than a thermometer, right? So it's like, I remember telling a cousin of mine one day, actually I told a group last weekend, we was talking about life and everything else. And I was telling a cousin, I said, at the time he was working for me, and I said, you know why you work for me? He's like, oh yeah, you pay me. I said, no, you know why you work for me? He said, no. I said, you work for me because I know something you don't know.
Mm, mm.
I said, that's why you work for me. And then I gave them a story this past weekend, and I was telling them on their jobs, and I said, here's how most of your lives are living. I said, imagine me your boss,
Mm-hmm.
and I call you in, and I'm gonna use the word Johnny or Jenny. I'm gonna use Jenny because we want to go this route. And Jenny comes into my office, and I say, Jenny, how are you doing? Hi, Mr. Martin. I said, Jenny, you know you one of the best employees here at this fucking job,
Mm-hmm.
and you come here early, you stay late. In fact, you don't even listen to your husband. You listen to me first. You know what I'm saying? And I'm Jenny, I'm getting ready to reward you. But first of all, I want you to know something, Jenny. You see, you see this house right here, this big ass house up on my wall. Jenny's looking at it. Yeah, I mean, don't worry that it's destroying your family and me, disrupting your house, giving you this power. But listen, that house, that fucking car, if you keep coming working just like you do every day, staying late and all that stuff, in about 30 years, it's going to all be mine. It's going to all be mine, Jenny. Now, here's the deal, Jenny. What's your daughter name? Young Tammy? She's your mini me, right? Yeah. Let me tell you, if she grow up just like you, learning just like you teaching her what you know, my daughter Samantha's going to take over the company. She can work for her too. It's like the whole setup.
No
Because
evolution, just
no evolution, because we're raising mini me's and not improving the lineage.
that's right.
You know what I'm saying? And we're not seeing how all of that's supposed to go, but yet we're reflecting on the world the way they want us to have it. And so it's all about you knowing your worth, getting more knowledge. The knowledge is the freedom.
Mm,
Remembering is total cosmic freedom.
total. Like
Total cosmic
and
freedom.
richness.
Remember.
Like when you talk
Yeah.
about being rich, we ain't talking about that money that everybody thinking about. We talking about rich in spirit, rich in knowledge. Like I'm rich. I'm rich. You hear me? Okay, because it's not a lot that you can really get past me, and that's all come from tapping in with self. This is not reading thousands of books.
Yep.
This is not. This is cosmic knowledge, and you could tell when somebody got cosmic knowledge versus they just reiterating some shit out of a book, right?
They remembering, yeah, just quoting quotes and
You could tell.
and that's how they did it though. That's
Mhm.
what they taught you in school, to sit back and remember 2 + 2 is 2.
Yes.
When your cosmic mind saying that shit just don't add up. I don't know what number it is, but it don't look right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you sitting out in the fucking jungle and a big ass bear walking up, and yeah, oh, let's look up bear. Oh, grizzly, 9 feet tall, big teeth. Well, something in your gut like run, motherfucker, run. You know what I'm saying? It's like it just don't look right. And then by this time you read to the bottom, it's about it will eat you. It's a little too late.
Right.
Your higher self said, run, motherfucker, run. In
Right.
fact, it got you the last life. You have learned again. You gonna keep coming back
You
in
back
eight
here
up.
to learn this same lesson and you still trying to
Yeah.
figure out in a book somebody else's message, by the way. Because
Yeah.
every time I hear somebody ask me that, I cringe. And this is coming from somebody who created ebooks, who's literally writing her own book, who has friends with books. Shout out to Roger. Go get his book. But what I'm saying is this: if you considering somebody else's word as your sole source of truth, that's letting me know you haven't done enough work when it comes to tapping in with self.
There you go.
Because if I go look for something, I've already validated it here. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't say, oh, I want to learn more about this. Let me go here. I say, I want to learn more about this. Let me go to sleep. let me go to the cosmos.
Go to the car
That's
and,
what I
and,
do.
and set that dream intention.
That's
And
right.
you'll be surprised when you wake up once you start like, damn, how did I know that? Because there's a lot of shit, and some of you know Bible stuff and didn't even read the Bible.
Right.
This time, so to speak, right? Doesn't mean you're not remembering from the last time,
Mhm.
that you were doing this. And so everything out here, I always say it's a strange world, right? But in a way that once you tap into understanding it, then you don't fear it anymore. You
Right.
don't fear what is happening. You pay more attention. You can laugh at stuff. You can laugh at what is happening at sometimes, and then you begin to say, okay, how do I do things a little different? And So, for example, and I'm only just bringing this up, when I first started doing the first, we would call them meetups, and people would come, and then we were outside at a park. It was hot and stuff. Then I end up getting a building. We end up renting this kind of a church thing, and I'll never forget sitting in front of the room talking, and the pastors of the church jumped up in front of everybody. Yeah, 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 this thing, yeah, yeah, you this, and I'm looking like, damn, it's like, but it also got me where we are now, right?
Mhm.
So I could look at it and say, oh, this lady did what she did. No, whatever the good side, put some in there to say, let me make the jump up and run his ass where he's supposed to be. You get what I'm saying? And everything else. Then, yeah, here's the other part. And I don't know why this is just bringing it up in my mind, but because of what you said earlier. Uh, then I start asking $5 to pay for $1,000 room because
Mm.
I'm just doing my part. People start getting upset. Oh, why are you charging? And I'm like, I don't have to tell you nothing.
Right.
I don't, but it ain't worth you supporting to find out, you know?
Mm.
Then it went $10. Then it went free. It goes back and forth. This comes back to what you were saying earlier, where people expect for us to say something right here live on the air that will change the trajectory of our life. They come shut us down. They're just going to find somebody else to watch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When they understand that there's a threat to the knowledge, it's a threat, and that makes you, the person, become a threat to the knowledge that you need to learn, and then you're respected. Then you won't get taken advantage of because they know when you know.
Right.
And it's important that you grow yourself to a point to where you understand that this whole journey was to remember so that you get back out of here and don't come back if you didn't want to. And when you do come back, once again, you're incarnated, you do get a little bit of inkling so you can find your way because you're
Right.
a little more powerful. But there are some people, man, who are spinning and spinning, and they've been around this thing of tons and tons of time. And at this point, in the expectation of thinking that the doors is going to open at what peril, and it's just crazy. And again, I don't know why I threw that up, not to get anybody to buy tickets or anything, but what I'm saying is that when you learn, when you grow, and you know what you know, then respect it. And if anyone wants to have it, because let me tell you something, it's not about what you think, but we do serve a just universe, right? This one source God is a just God. He did not, he, she, what, it ever did not promise to give you what I went through hell in a handbasket and went through turmoil, called crazy for speaking out loud and speaking the truth and researching 25 hours a day and 7 days a week. It did not say that I had to give it to you for nothing. It did
Mm.
not say, now it is my choice of discernment of knowing this person need this and I can just tell you what this is.
Right.
Hey, take this and whatever, because it's not changing me. Here's knowledge for you. But at some point, we have to be able to monetize the messages to do it, and it's crazy that, we deal with that in our community across the board when it comes to thought leaders and everything else. So when we do our tour and we rent a room to come to a city that somebody has, do we go and spend 5,000 for the room and say all is welcome?
Mm. I'm gonna
And
tell
then
you
they,
right now, hell no. When it comes to me, see, Roger, he's saying it all sweet and all of that. Let me let y'all know right now. Hell no. Okay, I'm not doing that because I understand reciprocity and I understand my worth. And this comes back to what I'm saying about doing the work, doing self work. Because I used to have a problem with shit like that. I used to have a problem with asking for what I'm worth. That was me, but that was also a wound that I had. And a lot of people have the same wound. I don't have that shit anymore. So when it comes to, me giving out information, I absolutely do that for free. Go down my TikTok, go down my YouTube, go down my Facebook. There you go. But when it comes to if I'm giving, it's reciprocity is the name of the game moving forward for me.
yep,
So if you're not to reciprocate, there's not to say you can't get the information. You absolutely can, because number one, you should be sitting with self. That's the number one message. Number
okay,
two, there's a lot of free different channels. You can just go on the internet and look. But when it comes to exclusive events, It's exactly what it says. And so I don't sugarcoat that. I don't apologize for that. And if that doesn't resonate with you, you're not in my tribe anyway. So,
Right. It makes a
you know,
lot of
I had
sense.
to learn that.
It
So,
makes a lot of sense, y'all, what you're saying. And I see somebody in there with just talking about chemtrails. Who was this just now?
ooh,
We talked about chemtrails all week. It is Ashani McShorty, but Mac Shorty, but was saying that I've been having horrible migraines and sicknesses.
mm,
Here's something that I put on the airwaves the other day, and since she said that in here, this is on my website, truthversusauthority.org. When you go there, you can click it. We did a whole conversation on chemtrails this past weekend. I mean, we went deep. On here is a USB drive with what I call 40 DVDs. It's like 50 hours, 49 hours of all the chemtrail stuff that we pour from everywhere, from court cases, people telling you, showing the brain and the luminance and how it's done, what they're doing. It's on the website. You can go, and then there's a sheet in here. This sheet will give you a list of each DVD or whatever. You don't just USB. You don't need a DVD player. Plug it up in the computer or side of the TV. Choose the number and you watch it. And it's all here, and we ship these out. I just did a few. I think we got about 10 or 15 left, but this to help people. Now, here's what I'm getting ready to tell you. You can take this information. You can learn this knowledge that I spent forever getting the best of all of this so that people can learn. You then can begin to teach it. And then you begin to earn your worth back from getting this knowledge, right? And maybe you turn around and start a circuit on chemtrails, and then you all of a sudden travel the world speaking about chemtrails because what bothered you, now you're teaching to help people.
mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? But it all started with the fact that what did I do? Okay, I got a USB drive with 49 hours of chemtrail DVDs that we call it, whatever, a list of it, and then you got one. I'm talking to Shorty Butt, and all of us in those like Shorty Butt, I like the name of Shorty Butt. But the whole point is when you leave a Ya event and you done got specialized knowledge. Now, use the word specialized knowledge. What does that make you? You're no longer common, you're a weapon.
Mm.
Now you got to choose, do you want to be a weapon or are you going to fight? Because I start telling people, I'm no longer talking about, oh, there's a truth seekers. And I always said truth seekers, but we're looking for truth speakers now.
Mm.
Because now it's time you in the realm. And let me tell you this. Go Google this. 3-4 days ago, the CEO of Microsoft, the current CEO, made a public release statement about AI and saying that in 12 to 18 months. Now, before he said this, he said these words, it's been unleashed and we can't stop it. He said it's a problem. They can't stop it. It's creating languages. It's doing things that the humans can't do shit about. He said that AI in 12 to 18 months is getting ready to replace white collar jobs. Whoa.
Now, I love that you just said that. Can we decode what the hell that actually means, though, for real?
Hey, hold on. We're going to get to that, right? And you can start it out. But why would the person who owns the fucking system want to put out a warning like that?
Mm.
Why would he want to do? Now, what he's saying is that all these engineers and different desk people that's doing stuff that this AI can multitask and doing it. In fact, they said that we're on track for having the first billionaire one person owned company. No employees, but they're a billionaire and all they have is AI working for them, right? But here's the deal. They're putting out this warning. Number one is it's another acceptance thing, right? So you can accept the outcome of things and like, whatever, but also generate a lot of stuff. But anyway, go ahead and go into it. But I'm saying this to say, get knowledge that they can't take from here because not only content creation, all of this kind of stuff can't be, people are going to search for answers. They're going to have to search for answers. Why don't you be what they Googled?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden you have created a different life. But go ahead and go into that.
Well, what I was gonna say is I don't know the whole context of what was said, but just based off of what you said, the way I decode that is because you got to remember AI is mimicking who? Us, right? So basically, they're telling you you're getting too far advanced. We can't
That
control
is
y'all
what
no
I'm
more.
saying is why would the person who created it come out and tell you?
Right.
Because what they're trying to do is once they get you to accept transhumanism, if that's the word we want to use, because
Mhm.
they can control you through
Right.
that. Now, there was something else on a show that Tucker Carlson had a guy from Silicon Valley about 2 months ago. And this guy was talking about AI and how a lot of the tech giants are summoning the same demon, that this particular demon, and that AI is being designed so that this demon can get a body.
Mm.
That's what the demon wants. It wants a body, right? And why wouldn't it? Because it's a fine place to be here where we are at this time if you're looking at it this way. But, you know, now flip the side. AI tools for us creators is magnificent.
Right.
I don't fear it. It has helped me, I mean, just the other day I used to hire, video editors to try to create certain animations and
Mhm.
they're charging 29, $30 a minute. Now I just tell the AI to do that shit. And be
Right.
like, damn, fuck it. I used to have somebody to do such and such, such and such. In fact, gentlemen, the men that are listening, I forget the name of the company, it's called RAM or whatever. You now can go buy the AI wife of your dreams. And,
Oh
and she
shit.
will do any and all things that you want. And it's the return policy. Imagine that shit. Like, hey, taking her back. Hey, this shit ain't functioning the way it is. But you can go and design. Now they haven't did men like this for women, but for some reason they're making money. But you can go and digitally get this woman of your dream, and she's gonna do whatever you program her to do.
Mm.
Now, how fucking simple is that where somebody get to a point where they don't want to be around your physical fucking energy, that they're willing to go buy some electronic digital woman?
Again, are we in the Twilight Zone? Like, where am
You
I?
know
How
what
did
I'm
I get
saying?
here?
So it's like, all right, that's just,
What
but
the
this is,
hell?
but here's the deal though. Somehow they're appeasing the mind. They appeasing the mind and all that. Now, why would they want to create? And let me put a flip side to this so that y'all get where I'm going with this, ladies. Why would they want the most powerful person, women you all are, replaced so they can control men, right? By replacing the one, because they ain't making no AI men company. They're making an AI woman because you all are the thing. You're the sugar honey iced tea,
Mm,
right? For those of you who walk in the light, of course.
right.
And they know it. They need to get you out of the way for sure. So that's you knowing who you are, the power, all the way back to ancient. Before they flipped it, it was the women running shit.
Right. They're doing what they've done since the beginning of when they've tried to take over shit, right?
Yep.
Always suppress the divine feminine. And we can look at religion and see that. We can look at any aspect and see that they've always tried to replace women. Why? Why? And as you said, a woman that's walking in her true light, but also understands how to balance her darkness, she is the real threat. Okay?
She's the real threat. And you've seen it in every fucking movie out there. King Kong, biggest ass gorilla monster get taken down by a woman. Mighty Joe Young get taken down by a woman. Godzilla. Everybody, the biggest of the monsters get taken down by a woman.
Hmm. Hey,
Samson and Goliath. Samson and whatever the girl name or whoever, if that's the one, but not Sam. Well, yeah, Samson and it's just Achilles and or everybody. It's the power of the woman.
I always say, they didn't do what they did for no reason. Like when we talk about removing the 13th sign and the 13th month and all of these different things, because that 13th that was removed was the divine feminine, right?
Yeah.
They removed all of the women from the Bible. You know, I mean, of course, we hear about Mary Magdalene. We hear about a few of them, but we don't know a lot of the archetypes. Let me say that, right? We're not talking about people. We talking about the archetypes, the energies.
Yep.
We don't know a lot of that until we start tapping more into like history, okay? Until we start tapping into mythology, right? That's when you start learning about those things. But they give you what they want you to know. And I read between the lines on everything that they're not saying. And so the woman is absolutely powerful, but also I want every man on here to hear this too. When I speak about the divine feminine, and even I know when Roderick is speaking about the divine feminine, yes, we could be talking about women, but we're also talking about the energy of divine feminine.
It's in both of us. That's why my
Right.
schedule has the upside down triangle so that men, all of us know that we have to access that feminine energy. In fact, here's something for symbolism. Everybody has experienced this. You're driving down the street, you're on the service road, somebody's coming off the highway, okay? They're moving fast, but they don't want to invoke you saying, oh, fuck it, I'm not going to let this person over, I'm not going to do this. Because they know ancient symbolism, the divine feminine symbolism is the upside down triangle. The yield sign is there tapping into your subconscious to make your ass be feminine and kind and let that bitch off the road so that you don't cause no problems.
Right. Look at the colors. The stop sign, right? The yellow. Come on.
All of that shit. These fuckers know. I got books right here that talked about symbolism of colors and all of it. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna show y'all my toys. So I got 3D printer. So I created this alien with the helix that we're mixed with DNA. There's
I'll have to break that one down, Roderick, on the 14th.
Look at this one that I created. This is my custom 3D printed stuff. This is our owl. This is my saying unlock your mind. I make these things on my. This is listening to that shadow, the reptilian shadow in your ear. Wow. Controlling the shadow. Of course, I got the ISIS and just different stuff. But I make these myself, and when I ain't got nothing to do, I have some try to paint them and stuff. But yeah, that's symbolism though. That's why that yield sign exists. Yeah.
Symbolism will be their downfall. And as I mentioned before, they hate to see people like us coming because if you learn symbolism, you learn the games, the keys of life. And so I do encourage y'all. For a lot of y'all, I do have a lot of different things on my website as well. You.O.U.Tech. I have courses. I have a lot of free resources as well. Tips of the day, tricks, different ways that people trick you. I have, dark psychology tips every single day. I'm giving you something that people use against you every day to manipulate you. It's so many different resources on there. Also, my services are on You.O.U.Tech. I'm not going to be on too much longer. I really wanted to just come on, vibe with Roderick, talk about the otherworldly beings, all things cosmic, as well as to let you guys know about the event March 14th, where we will be uncensored. This was great. Don't get me wrong, but this was just like the tip of the iceberg because there's a lot of holding back that we have to do just for the platform. But yeah, we're going all in. March 14th, Dallas, Texas. We will be live, also live streaming.
And I'm gonna put the thing right in the chat right now. Let you know. Make sure when I put it, y'all screenshot it so that you'll have it because tomorrow it'll go back to the regular price. If you go look right now where it's gonna cost you if you want to just watch us from afar, come on, it'll be irresistible. But we're just doing this tonight, just to kind of get it out there. But even though it's gonna be worth it no matter what. And then, of course, you'll see my birthday is there, too, because we're going to celebrate that. Now, that won't be live streamed. But there's the link right there. I just put it. Enter Truth, ENTER Truth.com. And Yaya is going to come in Friday night. She's actually going to come in Friday. So we're going to do a VIP if you're here in Dallas where we're just hanging out privately. So if you just want to really hang out with her and me and I think a couple other people, you can do our kind of VIP, but then the next day is just whatever, come to the event, hang out afterwards. Then we're going to do a little birthday thing in here, and celebrate. We ain't doing the whole candle ritual shit, but,
no, we're not.
just just happy solo, whatever words you want to use, but however it works, we're going to really enjoy ourselves there. Somebody asked about symbolism. There's a lot of books that you want. In fact, that is my whole new future of what I'm doing. In fact, you can go to the U.S. Trademark Office. I have trademarked the word, or not word, but the branding, the symbolizer, because I want to do that. I'm speaking on it. Everything is symbolism anyway, by the way. But and this just me to create the persona and the brand of what I'm doing. But you all can do that. Yeah, Dallas Redbird area is someone saying, yeah, we're at the DEC network. There is a number that you all can do and text if you're in Dallas. So let me just say this before we get out of here. You're gonna text the word truth and that word truth to 888 440. And I'm gonna put it right here, 9771. That'll put you on the text list for Dallas updates, and then you'll know. Especially come to the movie night next week, this week, Saturday actually, Friday night. Hang out with us, just kind of be around other people, and we just kind of doing some stuff. But there it is, right there. You can text the word truth to 888-440. For those of you on Facebook, go to Truth versus Authority community, hop in there, and then y'all's part of that group too, and then so you can get the post of the events and stuff there too, and then just kind of be part of the community of what we're doing, and then we're going to put something together for her in Atlanta, and then we'll move on the road and kind of do some things, panels. Imagine a panel of what we're doing, having these conversations though, right? And getting it hard, uncensored, and everything else. So it is in the making, because one thing we do know, and this is what I'll leave you all with from my part, to know who you are and know that you are deserving to have a better life. If every night you have ideas, I want you to know how this works. Ideas is God, the source, giving this thing to be birthed, because there is some kind of restriction or rule that a lot of this stuff has to come through this realm. So when all these people are praying or asking for a solution, source says, okay, then I need to give it to someone to manifest it in that realm to answer what all these people want. And it may be you. Now, here's the problem. Some of you getting ideas constantly and never moving on it.
Yep.
And then you wake up in the morning and oh, they stole my idea. What the fuck you mean they stole your idea? They took your unrealized ideal needed to be birthed.
That's right.
So it's like, this is humanity we're talking about. Need help. Now, one thing somebody told me was, Roderick, your finances is directly proportionate on what you're giving back to humanity. And so there was a time I wouldn't give a shit back. And I was like, why is this shit so hard? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because I have love for everybody. I wasn't giving enough. Right? Now I give enough. So imagine somebody who created a platform that everybody buys on the world. He is going to be the most billionaire person in the world because he created something that everybody's using.
Right.
So whatever you dreaming about tomorrow, and you wake up in the morning and then it's an idea, man, go search for it, because it could be that one idea that was supposed to raise vibration, change people's lives, and also take you and everything else into the next side, because you're doing what you came here to do.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And I always, just to piggyback off of what Roderick just said, one of the biggest things that I tell my clients, your abundance is tied to your passion and your purpose. If you can understand this, you're going to stop that hustle and bustle mentality, because that is not a way to live. When people say, I'm chasing the bag, okay, it's running from you, right? You're not doing anything. First of all, when it comes to you living out your dreams, your purpose, your passion, the thing that you are sent here to do, which is raising the collective consciousness and awareness and vibrations. But before you even get to that, you got to figure out, what is it that I enjoy? What fills my cup? Because that is literally what you're supposed to be doing.
Yep.
That is what you're supposed to. You see how Roderick, he loves talking about reptilian stuff, right?
Yep.
He centered everything around his reptilian exposing the reptilian agenda, whether that be good reptilians, bad reptilians, just giving you the knowledge behind it. But he made that his brand, right? He was supposed to do that. He's supposed to be right here talking to people, giving them knowledge about reptilians, because his soul contract knew that this time would come right here where people started asking questions. The same goes for you. Okay. Spirit has given you so many different things, so many different ideas. So many times Spirit came to you and said, start this business. And you let your ego come behind it and say, but I don't got the money to do it right now. Spirit didn't ask you none of that. Spirit told you to get started. Okay. So when it comes to acting on something, this is why I tell people, don't come to me talking about somebody stole your idea. No, they actually just had a little bit more fire up under their ass. Let's call it what it is.
And it had to give it to somebody and said, okay, if your ass ain't gonna do it, all right, let's do something else. And think about this though, y'all. How many people post, oh, I want to thank God for this new car. And then about 6 months later, man, I got all these bills. When did the blessing turn to the bills?
Oh, say it again.
You know what I'm saying? When did the blessing turn to bills?
And because that's your association with money. That's what needs to change in the first place.
No.
There's so many people, oh, this is a scam. Everything is a scam to people who are still confused about money. That's what a scam is. You see what I'm saying? So when you get out of that mindset, everything starts in the mind. When I eliminated a lot of my limitations, a lot of my limiting beliefs, there is nothing in my mind that I don't think I can do. Okay. Now there's some shit that I just ain't gonna do. Right. But in my mind, as long as my spirit gives me something, I go with that now. Okay. The reason why I'm able to come up here and give examples and things like that is because I went through the learned experience of not listening to spirit. But then I identified that and what that looked like for me, and I saw the end result. Versus now, me literally acting on certain things. I have so many ideas that come through. My problem is I'll be trying to do all of them at one time. And so that's when you come to grounding. You have to start grounding this, because a lot of y'all we are multidimensional beings, which means you are multi-gifted. So you're not limited to just one thing. The thing is, a lot of y'all get overloaded. And so you trying to figure out, well, which one do I focus on? Just start somewhere. Okay. And then you might start doing that and figure out, I like this, but I'm not passionate about it. Okay. Go to the next thing. Again, you are multi-gifted. But if you don't start exploring, if you just keep sitting in some office building where you're comfortable, right? It's time to get uncomfortable. That's why spirit nudging a lot of y'all right now. This is why you're feeling so agitated right here. This is why things at home feel wrong. This is why so much shit is coming up, because your soul knows it's time. You've been playing it safe, which is the riskiest thing you could ever do. Okay? Playing it safe ain't getting you nowhere. People who play it safe, literally just living. That's it. Just surviving. That's it. That's not living in the sense of what we're supposed to be doing. Just being, just existing. Right? Living out your true purpose and passion. Because when you're doing that, it's no longer work. But if you're chasing the bag and you got 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 jobs, when do you have time to go inward and sit with yourself? When? You don't. So my whole message, and again, I'm not going to be the dead horse. We about to get up off of here to be honest.
See, that don't mean that me and her brother will be on the phone talking another 3 hours later.
Listen, you know I'm not talking to Roderick for 3 hours tonight. But
boy, hey, I get it.
The thing is this, that I want y'all to understand, that Roderick is trying to get you to understand. Our whole message is, it's literally you. You are the blueprint. You are the reason why there are so many different distractions, so many different departments created just specifically to study you. Why? Why? Because you have something that they want, which is your inner light. Knowledge is power, but only when you apply it. Okay? Stop asking for the books and understand that you are the book. When you can really fathom that is when you're going to change some shit. But as long as you keep sitting around waiting for somebody to tell you something, waiting for somebody to hand you something, waiting for somebody to validate you, you're giving your power away. And that goes against everything that I teach. I know that goes against what Roderick speaks on. There are some leaders who will not teach you that because they thrive off of you coming to them and needing them for information.
Yep.
It's the
and
opposite.
then
When
give you
you
a pivot and give you a
exactly
little bit.
when you
Yeah.
come in contact with people who genuinely, truly want to see you ascend, okay, they're going to give. They want you to have the power back. Like I want you to call your power back, but it's called awareness first. Because if you're not aware, it's a lot of things that you can't change. It's a lot of things you can't even see when you're not aware of it. So it's calling awareness. It's helping you guys remember. And, you know, it's having events where we can do this without being filtered. And so I would love to see y'all. With all that being said, Roderick, thank you so much for joining us.
You know
Thank
what?
you for,
You said something where it changed. Can I leave a word with them?
yeah.
People, I want you to listen to what I'm about to say. And again, I just put the link for some of you who want to watch us online while we're in Dallas. Here's what I want to use, and it's based on the word change. Until the pain of change outweigh the pain of remaining the same, would one change? Okay? Take that with you tonight. And I love you. I love each and every one of you. Make the change.
Likewise. I love you back. Listen, Roxy Rocks, I need you to message me. I don't know. Maybe email me, because if you message me, I might not see it. Email me, because I want to remember reciprocity. You really held it down tonight with moderating in the chat. I love to see everything that you was putting in here, because honey, I do not know how to work it. So I truly believe in reciprocity. Please email me so that I can give you something. Your own universe 111@gmail.com.
Make sure you do that.
Yes, because I listen again, reciprocity, y'all. When you start knowing your worth, understanding who you are, how you see yourself is how everybody around you is going to see you, right? If I feel unworthy in here, everybody around me going to be able to feel that energy and vibration. I know who I am. I know I'm worthy. Okay. And so are you. So I want y'all to hear that. I want y'all to know that. Listen, I'm going to be going live again. I think I'm coming back on live on Wednesday night with another guest of mine. I'm still going to be, talking about our event for the 14th coming up. But I do have another special guest. I'm not going to say nothing just yet. I want to make sure everything is confirmed. But yeah, I will be coming back on live. I'm going to try to do live a little bit more, but I'm working on a lot of different things. And this is where it comes to grounding the energy, right? I don't like to overload myself. So with all that being said, I appreciate y'all so much. The love, the support, the comments, you guys just watching the content, you saying that you love it. It resonates. Like, that fills my cup. And it lets me know that I'm doing the right things. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do here. So I appreciate you guys. Come vibe with us March 14th.
Somebody asking for the Facebook fight. Truth versus Authority Community. It's on Facebook. Truth versus Authority Community. There it is from there. And all right, y'all. I'm still gonna call you when I hang up here anyway.
No, he not, y'all. I'm not gonna answer. It's like it's all good. I love y'all. Like Roderick said, don't be shy to tell people that you love them, right? Do not be shy from that, because there's so many people's lives you can change just by saying those words. Even though we know it's more of an action, it really does something when a lot of people are saying this. Everything is about energy.
Oh my God, yes.
Spread the love, okay? Spread love, not war. But war if necessary. That's all I'm saying.
We say the war, truth versus authority is the war, baby.
That's right. War when necessary. I ain't shy about no war either. But what I'm saying is, love trumps all. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys so much. Sending you love. Keep watching the content. If you got suggestions, I do have a suggestion box on my website. So if you have stories you want me to share, I'm going to start getting more into that, decoding people's stories. So yeah. If you need anything,
and you do calls too, though, right? They can call and get book calls with you. Yeah, I do
readings. I do, consultation. I do a lot. So I have mentorships, which I don't have any slots available right now because I have 6, and I only take 6 because I believe in quality over quantity. However, I still do have coaching and reading sessions available. So if you guys need anything, just let me know. But I appreciate you once more, Roderick. Thank you for joining.
All right.
And we're going to do this darn thing on March 14th. It's going down.
Yes. All right. Talk to you later.
All righty. Take care.
All right. Look, how do you end this? Let me find out. I don't know.
Go up to the top where it looked like a power button. and just click off. I think that's how it.
Power button, the X.
No, it looks like a little circle with a line in the middle of it. You see it
Uh,
at the top?
no, I'm
Okay,
just.
maybe if I
It
end
just
it.
said, but it just said leave the live. Yes.
Yeah, that's what
All
it
right.
is.
All right. Talk to you
All right,
later. Bye
peace,
bye.
y'all.